Thank you very much.
Really good.
Yeah, good.
Welcome back to Supersport Park Momentum Health Challenge, and the first ball of the second game bowled by Tundo Intini, nicely pushed through the covers for 4. Great start for the Mpumalanga Rhinos and their opening batsman Zakia Katrada. Batted really nicely yesterday, and well, the Intini name might tip you off that it's Tundo Intini who has returned this season to his roots in the border, bowling for the Eastern Cape Iinyathi, who won the toss and sent the Mpumalanga Rhinos into bat first in this battle of the 2 winners from the first day. Whoa, what a start. Katrada lashes that through cover point. 4 more. Tundo Intini just dropping a little bit short with these first 2 deliveries. And it's also a very good afternoon to former Titans all-rounder Kobus Pienaar.
Yeah, thanks, Ken. Brilliant to be back with you here for the second match of today. And if that's the start of things to come, we're definitely in for a humdinger this afternoon. 2 phenomenal shots here by Zakia Katrada. Looks like the wicket has baked nicely. Was a bit on the slow side in the morning, but the quality of those 2 cricket shots through the offside from Tundo Intini is definitely a run fest on the cards here for the side from Mpumalanga Rhinos. We've done well yesterday, as you rightly mentioned. Both teams won yesterday, so out of the blocks with a flying start here.
And not quite 3 in a row. This time cover point makes a scrambling save. It's interesting because yesterday afternoon's game, the Eastern Storm won the toss and elected to bat first, and we thought that was a reasonable decision because in the morning here there might be a bit of early morning moisture, a bit of moisture, make use of it and bowl first in the morning, but changes in the afternoon and also the pitch a bit slower first thing in the morning. Better delivery from Intini. But Kobus, do you think the attitude now is that this pitch is just going to get better and better for batting, and we're going back to those days when Supersport Park always used to be a chasing pitch?
Yeah, I can't agree more with you. We've had a chat over the lunch break with Richard Dasnev, who's also in the part of the coaching staff here at the Titans and currently busy with the Speaker Academy, and he also feels like it's only going to get better and better as the 4 days go on into Friday's final game against the Titans. So definitely something in for it. If I look at the changes here, obviously 2 changes. Van Zyl and Kutser is out for seam bowlers for the team of Inyathi, so they're rotating their squad with other seam bowlers. But that's been a worrying factor for me from this morning in terms of the quality of seam bowling. It just looks like the guys can't really penetrate at this point in time. And that will be a tough thing at Supersport Park if you can't really get the extra bounce or the movement as a seam bowler. Then the wicket and the surface are just too good for batters just to hit through the line.
Some late in swing again from Tundo Intini, but it did too much, that delivery. Clearly missing the leg stump. End of the first over, 8 without loss. Just to allay your fears, Kobus, I can tell you that these 2 sides playing now, Border and the Mpumalanga Rhinos, these are the 2 best seam bowling attacks from the first day. Border had Nico van Zyl, who was very impressive, and yes, they've changed their bowling lineup with Farid, Totana and Intini coming in, but Alandile and Kletiwa is still there. He bowled nicely. Khaldise Molefe, the spinner, was really good yesterday, and so it's still a decent looking pace attack for the Inyathi. For the Rhinos, John Hendrickson was outstanding. He took 3 for 12 in his 4 overs and very well supported by Herman Rolfs. That's across the line. Herman Rolfs, and the third seamer was Gareth Dukes opening the batting. So it might be a little bit different this afternoon, but as you say, it looks like lovely conditions for batting.
Yeah, no, that's pleasing. The names that you've mentioned, they rings a bell, and obviously I saw yesterday Nico van Zyle's figures. He was outstanding in the UK also as an overseas professional. There was an article written about him that he's potentially the best overseas professional in UK club cricket. He played near Manchester, which is a good thing for him, and to come back and to fit straight in like a glove again back to Eastern Cape Iinyathi where he played last year also is very promising to see. And then obviously Kutsur is leaving out, also played at Limpopo last season. He started off at Northwest and then moved to Limpopo. So it's nice to see that the seam bowling department in a Division 2 team have got some squad depth, which is brilliant. I'm quite excited about Fourie also running in. Looks a strong boy, strong athlete, and that's ultimately the depth of a squad that wins you titles at the back end of the season, which is good to see.
Fourie bowling now, and Dukes has got him away through the covers. It's actually Katrada again. He's off to a flying start. Zakia Katrada.
Yeah, impressive the way Kafadra pierces the offside again. That's his third boundary through the offside, and he just used the pace of Fourie. He just missed his length, and he didn't use much of his feet movements, but he just waited and trusted the good surface, and he opened up the offside for a welcome boundary, and he moves on to 12 free boundaries already in his innings.
Over the top now by Katrada. Goodness me, what a shot that is. Over long off for 6.
Yeah, some over correction here by Fourie. Went too short the previous delivery. This time round he makes himself guilty of over pitching, and your words is proven the truth here. Ken, just look at the surface, look at the stroke play here, look at the value for shots here, and that's a phenomenal shot over long off for a maximum.
Off the glove. Has been taken, or was it the arm? He's been given out. Katrada's not happy. The umpire's ruled it came off the glove, but he was certainly a little bit at sea playing that bouncer. These are just it's just the end, towards the end of the previous game that the Northern Cape Heat won in fine style thanks to a dazzling 100 by Garnet Tar. But Zakia Katrada, well, he and Gareth Dukes put on 139 inside 13 overs yesterday for the first wicket. Dukes was the initial aggressor, but Katrada still finished with 51 not out of just 32 balls, and he was heading for a similar way today, 18 off 10 balls, and unfortunately caught behind a good bouncer by Matthew Fourie.
Yeah, some phenomenal stroke play. He looked very upset with the decision, but it's hard for us to tell here on the top of the stands here to make sure if that was glove or the arm. But the umpire deemed him to give him out, so that's the final decision here. As we know, we haven't got any review system here. So the end of Kafrada, unfortunately, and it brings to the crease the ever-experienced Yasser Cook. Good player, this right-handed batter, the top of the order. He holds down a long career. Started at Gauteng and then played for Northwest, and has been down Mpumalanga for the last 3-4 seasons, doing very well for them. So good to see him in this power play against the new ball.
Also on the hook, and this time called a wide. Matthew Fourie, I've been wondering whether he's perhaps the son of a border fast bowler days gone by, Brendan Fourie. I could find no indication of it, but perhaps he is. Brendan Fourie was a stalwart of the border team back in the day.
Must say, very impressive, very athletic run-up, big strong boy, gets to the crease nicely, bowls nicely over the top, so definitely a lot of promise in this young career for Matthew Fourie.
And so he makes the first breakthrough. It's the end of the second over. Mpumalanga Rhinos 20 for 1. Certainly lots to like about, as you say, a run-up full of intent, very athletic, and a nice economical action. And he's clearly got a bit of pace behind him as well.
Yeah, we always, from a coaching point of view and from a cricketing eye, you always look at certain attributes that creates and makes good fast bowlers. And if you look at that athletic ability he has, nice and tall, strong action, there's definitely a lot to work with. And if you look at their squad, if a guy like Nico van Sail ever experienced, he's just going to learn so much from him to upskill himself.
Good pace and bounce from Thando Ntini, and he's now got the wicket as well as Gareth Dukes nicks off for 1. So it's going to be a different challenge for the Mpumalanga Rhinos in this innings. Yesterday, Yasser Cook only came in the 13th over and just had to finish up a handful of runs, only needed to face 4 balls in the end of that match. But now he and probably Benjamin van Niekerk coming in next, they're going to have to steady things, get things on the right footing in this power play. Gareth looks out for 1 off 2 balls.
Yeah, you could see their approach in terms of the power play. Both of them very aggressive. You could see you try to hit that ball straight over the offside infield, but very well bowled in by Thando Ntini. You could see the ball was swinging back a bit. In his first over, he was just guilty of being a bit too short, and that ball pitched up and then enough movement of the wicket and a very good catch by the wicket keeper to send Gareth Dukes back. So now they have to rebuild. These two guys have watched a lot of cricket yesterday, haven't played much, so just got to reassess the conditions, reassess this power play and see where they find themselves at the back end of the 6th over. We also know the challenge here is for them, they lose 3 or 4 wickets in a power play, the percentages are quite high of losing the match.
Yeah, and it is Benjamin van Niekerk who's come to the crease. He's been a consistent run scorer for the Rhinos. But Thando Ntini, tail is up, and that delivery really zipped through, and he's getting some movement as well. Yeah, we've been talking about how good Matthew Fourie looks, but Thando Ntini is someone who I believe there's something there. He's got something. He just needs to find, I think, a steady home, a place where he can play consistently.
Yeah, funny enough, you mentioned it now. I just try to think at the back of my head. Yeah, he's been to a few parts of South Africa as a cricketer, and 1 year in Australia also. So that makes it quite tough to settle. And hopefully he's getting older and getting wiser. From an ability point of view, there's definitely, as I said previously, all the right attributes to become a very good fast bowler. His dad's one of South Africa's greats, so definitely the right genes within him and within his DNA. But we just need to find him 3-4 years at the same place just to grow and to sort of upskill himself. From school he actually moved. He didn't finish school in the Eastern Cape. He went down to Wynberg already in his final year of school. So it's been a constant move over the last few years. But a lot of talent and definitely all the right attributes.
Short and wide and very nicely put away by Benjamin van Niekerk. That's exactly the sort of delivery you want to get when you're on naught.
Yeah, and that's maybe the reason why I make himself guilty in terms of his accuracy. A couple of good balls and that one just short and wide just looked like he missed his action. Because also at the end of the day, if you move, you don't constantly play in teams, you know, so it always will be a reason for that. And that was just a bit inconsistent, just a drag down delivery. You could see the position Van Niekerk gets into quickly, short and wide, and very good hands through the ball. A lovely cut shot for his first boundary.
Yeah, and it's been quite a journey back to the border region for Thando Ntini. Was at Selborne, and then, as you say, went to Wynberg. First played senior cricket for Western Province back in 2018. Then joined the Titans. I think it might have only been 1 season up here. Then to the Dolphins, then to the Tuskers at KZN Inland. There was, as you say, a year spent in Australia as well, playing club cricket there, and now back to the border region with the Inyathi, and hopefully things will go well for him there.
Coaching staff at Eastern Cape Iinyathi, 2 ex-Titans players, Tumelo Budibe as a top order batsman and wicketkeeper, and then Rowan Richard, who's the assistant coach and the bowling coach. So a lot of experience, especially on Rowan's side from a bowling point of view, playing at the highest level. 2 straight at that occasion, and just helped on his way for another boundary. So these young seamers will definitely be able to learn a lot from Rowan. He was good to bowl on flat wickets. He was good to bowl on different conditions across South Africa. He was good on seaming wickets, good on slow wickets. So they'll be able to learn a lot from him to fast track their careers.
Yeah, Rowan Richards has done an impressive job in his coaching career so far. So certainly Thando and Tini, I think, will get very good advice from the Inyathi bowling coach. We were very impressed yesterday just with the plans of the Inyathi attack and how well they executed, and how it really was spot on in terms of Super Sport Park, but also the one short boundary and the one long boundary in play for this Momentum Health Challenge. Matthew Fourie continues from the Henops River end. Deep square leg, or keep that a 1.
Yeah, I must say, to start your point here, you can just see with the field placements here and the lengths that they're trying to bowl. There's a little bit more orthodox fields. If you look at T20 cricket, where they have the third man back and the deep square boundary on the fence and the fine leg boundary in the circle, so it allows you to bowl potentially both sides of the wickets, where sometimes in the morning games it just became a bit one-dimensional.
Oh, that stood up a bit from Matthew Fourie. The batsman went for a little bit of a wander out of his crease, and wicketkeeper Malika just asking the square leg umpire, would he not be run out if I take the bails off now?
Always good to keep the batters on their toes and not make it too comfortable for them. It's become a batsman's game so much lately.
A wicketkeeper being cheeky, who would ever have thought? Still a glorious day here at Super Sport Park. Not a cloud in the sky. Gentle breeze blowing. And just chipped over mid-on by Van Niekerk. He'll get a couple of runs.
Good work done out in the deep by Christian de Tooy to prevent the boundary. Didn't time it as well as he wanted. Van Niekerk. De Tooy picks it up and they scamper through for 2 runs. Good over so far by Fourie, good change of pace. I've seen 2 slower balls already in this over, which I think it's the right plans and right tactics on this wicket. Just not to get the batter used to the pace on the ball.
Okay, good use of the bouncer, and I fancy there was a bit of pace taken off there as well. Van Niekerk swatting at it, but couldn't get hold of it. It's something that was definitely lacking from the run fest this morning from the pace bowling side, was taking pace off and hitting the deck hard. Nicely controlled. A little pull shot by Van Niekerk. You'll get at least 2, and in fact it's gone all the way for 4.
A very good placement by Benjamin Van Niekerk. We saw the line was wrong, too much on the legs side from Fourie, and he just helped it on his way for a welcome boundary to end the 4th over.
Just the consistency of the Inyathi bowling. Tini and Fourie, they've both bowled some cracking deliveries, but they've also bowled a few really loose ones. There have been quite a few boundaries, and so 35 and 4 overs is the score. Over 8 and over already for the Rhinos, although they have lost 2 wickets. And I fancy the boundary count there. Well, there's one 4-leg by, so we'll go with 7 fours probably off the bat already in the 4 overs. It's going to be a change of bowling from the West Lane end.
And I must say it's a bit of a pet hate for a coach also if the last ball of the over goes for a boundary, because it's so important to create some momentum in the right direction. And if you bowl the last ball, the untidy delivery goes for a boundary, momentum is completely of the batting side. Change the bowling, new bowling to the attack here.
Alandia Tlatiwa into the attack. Bowled nicely on the first day.
You can just see with his economical action he can be hands full down in East London. And those wickets is nice and low. Looks like he attacks the stumps, very accurate. And that's also a big discussion point of this variety in the attack, where they can leave out 2 seamers and still have enough seamers who can do a job. So they'll be quite fresh, and they'll be able to pick the seamers for different conditions in South Africa.
Slashing hard, looped out to cover point. And now Tlatiwa strikes in his first over, and the Rhinos have lost their 3rd wicket inside the power play.
Yeah, you could see when Jasikook is making his way off the field, it just shows that the ball held up in the wicket. And I must say credit to the Eastern Cape Iinyathi side, where they used the surfaces, they changed up their pace, they're a little bit more of a variation in their bowling, and that sort of paid off to this far, where they managed to take the 3rd wicket already in the power play.
So Jasikook gone for just a single. He was there for 5 balls, 35 for 3 now the Rhinos, and midway through the 5th over. Jason Niemand, the catcher. Van Niekerk still there on 10 not out. Very important role he has to play now for the Rhinos. As the veteran, Aubrey Swanepoel, comes to the wicket. Very handy batsman indeed.
Yeah, a lot of experience. Aubrey Swanepoel played a lot of cricket for Free State and the Knights and Northern Cape, and he finds himself in a bit of a tricky situation here in the back end of the power play.
Nicely worked behind square on the offside, on the leg side. .36 for 3 now in Mpumalanga. Sent into bat.
I must say I really enjoy the intensity of the Eastern Cape Iinyathi side in the field and the energy they create. It's a lot easier when you got them free down in the power play already. But from the start, I must say there was a bit of a buzz and a bit of energy. If you looked at them from their warm-ups, there's quite nice intent, and that also shows the character within the side and within the squad, which is so important in modern day cricket.
Oh, fantastic fielding there. That certainly saved 4 runs. And his teammates give him many congratulations and well deserved, because, as you were saying earlier, Corbus, it's so frustrating when the last ball of the over goes for a boundary. Khadi Malefe, the fielder there, great work. Good over too, so 36 for 3 now in Mpumalanga after 5 overs.
Going into the 5th over in this power play, looks like the introduction of spin, the right arm off spin.
Elisha Sazani, he did this yesterday as well. Bowls inside the power play, he was tidy. And then Khadi Malefe took over and dominated the middle overs, 4 overs for 21 he bowled. Bottom edged. Short third man in place though.
Yeah, it's so handy to have a right arm off spinner at the top of the order. Just gives you variety to your attack, and it opens up options for your team. So as you rightly mentioned, he did it in the power play yesterday also with great effect. Tricky situation they find themselves in. They don't want to lose another wicket in this power play. 3 down already.
And picking out the fielders a bit.
Yeah.
Poor old Aubrey Sonnepoel. That was beautifully struck, but straight to cover.
Yeah, it just shows you when you're under a bit of pressure. Well, sometimes feel there's more fielders than there actually is when you're in this position.
That one's got through. In between cover and point, and a lovely boundary for Aubrey Sonnepoel. 40 for 3 now for Mpumalanga Rhinos.
That's just too short by Sizani, and Aubrey Sonnepoel picks up the length quickly, gets into position, and he pierces the offside field for a welcome boundary.
Tossed up by Sizani, there'll just be the single. Again, good energy in the field by the Inyathi. Keeps the batsman under pressure.
Christian Retoy did the fielding there at mid-off. He also made his move down to the Eastern Cape Iinyathi side. He played for Tuks. He did quite well for Tuks. University of Pretoria in the last 2 seasons. Leading run scorer in the Titans Premier League last year also. So a good opportunity for him to start his career down in Eastern Cape.
Overpitched by Sizani. Gets away with just a single being conceded though to end the 6th over. 42 for 3. Power play done. And I think you'd have to say that the Inyathi will be the happier of the 2 teams.
Yeah, especially after that first couple of fireworks from Zakir Kafrada. We thought we were going to be in here for a run fest, and then they pulled it back nicely. I must say the intensity from the seam bowlers was phenomenal. The way they fielded, the way they hustled around it. So I agree with you. Definitely the power play at Eastern Cape Iinyathi won.
Shetiwa is going to continue. Did a very good job in his first over. 1 wicket, 1 run. Could have very easily been 5 runs conceded, but last ball of the over, Khadi Malefe pulled off a brilliant stop at backward point. So Pletiwa with confidence behind him, and he'll be bowling to Benjamin van Niekerk on 11. Malefe again. it's pretty straight. Was there an inside edge?
Yeah, that's the only thing that could have saved him here. Umpire straight away looked away. So only
I heard a very faint
yeah, we
into
can look.
wood.
Potentially quite a bit of movement into the right-handed batter. Potentially would have missed the leg stump also. So a good decision, umpire.
Again, that ball wobbling a bit as it got to Fanika. Gets it away for the single though. It's the 7th over of the innings and we have not seen this much swing so late in an innings yet in this tournament. Another look at that LBW peel and I think even if there wasn't an inside edge, probably missing leg stump. Put away, leg stump half volley, but he's only going to get one. Picks out deep square leg.
Yeah, he got away with that delivery. Wide down the leg side. Good contact from Benjamin van Niekerk. But he couldn't beat the fielder on the fence.
A change in the field for Tletiwa. Fine leg coming into the circle and long off drops back. It's straight. Oh, the stumps have done it again. Stumps have saved at least 12 runs in this momentum health challenge so far.
Yeah, it's incredible how hard he hit that ball. Got 4 written all over it. You could see below us the long on and long off fielders were getting ready to get on their bikes and chase the ball, but nonetheless the stump's done the damage again to save the certain boundary.
A little bit across the line, a bit agricultural from Van Niekerk, but gets the single, trying to target the short leg side boundary, but the end of another very tidy over from Alandile Platiwa. Just 3 runs off it. 45 for 3 after 7 overs.
Yeah, Platiwa only conceded 4 runs and picked up the wicket in his first 2 overs. So exactly what the captain ordered. I must say, very handy, very tidy, good lines, good lengths, good energy on the ball. So a great start to his spell in today's picture here against the Mpumalanga Rhinos. Zani bowled a good first over and it looks like the captain's going to reward him with his second just outside the power play. We can see the field spread. There's still 5 guys in the circle. Now deep square moving out. So there'll be 4 guys in the inner ring. Conventional field with a cover sweeper, long off, long on. Deep mid wicket field on the fence, cow corner, and then the deep square fielder.
Excellent call and excellent running between the 2 batters, and Sonapul's got collected a throw on the elbow for his troubles. Just an apology from Nathan Rue. He was going for the stumps. It was worth a shy. Bashed down the ground to long off for 1. Yesterday the Inyathi employed their 2 spinners in tandem, Sazani and Khadisha Malefa, the slow left armour. Oh, that's hit very firmly, wide of long on. Will it go all the way? It does, onto the bank. Lovely strike for 6 by Benji van Niekerk.
So we just got the sense that something has to give here. A couple of good overs by the Eastern Cape Iinyathi bowlers. And you could just see Benjamin van Niekerk was waiting for the right ball. And he helped it on its way. Over wide, long on for a maximum. That's
46 balls for the 50, so Some acceleration needed here from the Rhinos. Just to finish what I was saying about the spinners bowling in tandem, it'll be interesting to see what happens today, because Tlatiwa is going well, the seamer from the West Lane end. Does he get a third over? Or will Malefi come on? An attempted switch it.
Yeah, my general rule of thought is bowlers shouldn't really bowl more than 2 overs within a T20 competition, a T20 format, because this becomes predictable for the batters. So I won't be surprised if there's a change in attack.
Beautiful shot by Aubrey. Sonapul created space for himself and over extra cover for 4, was very nearly a 6.
Expensive over. Here we could see Aubrey just get in position, pick up the length early, gave himself some room, and he did it purposefully over the offside. A difficult shot, but he's done it with class and with ease to get him into double figures. And this partnership is slowly starting to grow.
So 13 off the over, 58 for 3 after 8 overs. And we are going to see a change from the West Lane end, but it's going to be more seam. It's Tazama Totana, as you see, coming on to bowl. Perhaps after the expensive last over from the Henops River end, Malefi will replace Cezani on that side. 2 right-handers though at the crease at the moment, and bowling left arm spin from the Henops River end. That's going to be inviting the batters to go with the turn and access the short offside boundary, but we'll see what happens. Tatama. Okay, that's another nippy looking seamer, first time I've seen him.
Yeah, ball nipped in of the seam there, well bowled. Quick single there. I must say, these 2 batters of Mpumalanga Rhinos weathered the storm here, and it's important for the Eastern Cape Iinyathi team to stay in the fight. So we look at that delivery, sharp movement of the seam into the right-handed batter. So definitely a very handy seamer also.
That's called wide. Square leg umpire notifies the bowler's end umpire.
Now definitely the angle in that Tutana creates here to the right-handed batter is important for him to get his length right, a little bit on the short side at second delivery. But a good run up, strong at the crease.
Yeah, you can see Aubrey Sonapul targeting with the in-swing, that leg side with a short boundary, frustrated with himself. He felt he missed out.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. I think he definitely missed out there. The angle, the shape of the ball, no mid-wicket field on the boundary, so it's easy pickings there. And it's all they need is just to get this momentum going again with the batting side. They weathered the storm here, they weathered the 3 early wickets that they lost, and now they just need to capitalise.
There we go. That's what Sonapul wanted to do. The previous delivery, easy as you like it, a 6 to cow corner.
Yeah, he's just too good a player to miss out again. So predictable. The same ball, the same line, the same field placement. Into the right hand, it's Sonapul. You can see he's nicely balanced. Hit at the top of the swing, gets into position early, and he just helps it on with the angle. Open with wicket for a maximum.
That ball was well outside off stump, but Sonapul ended up batting well outside off stump. So Tutama, he's either, for me, he's got to hit the deck hard with a change of pace or go very wide outside off stump here. Too straight again, but he's going to get away with it. Edged down to third man.
A bit of luck in Sonapul's way this time round. He went wider. Sonapul went across the crease again, and the keeper just couldn't get there. Half a chance, but nonetheless a single down to third man. change in the field. Third man comes into the circle, and that mid-wicket fielder goes to the boundary just to give him some more protection. The big in swing as he's bowling.
Attempted a really big hit there by Benji van Niekerk.
Well, the biggest challenge about this Division 2 teams is to have strong squads because of the amount of contracts from CSA they have available in the squad. So these number 12 to 16, 17, 18, which plays a massive role in terms of a cricket season, are so important to find a way to give those guys a lifeline to play a bit longer and to stay part of the squad.
I suppose it comes down to the strength of your club cricket and your junior structures, your academies, that sort of thing. Universities in your area, very important. End of the 9th over, 68 for 3, and the Inyathi continue to do a tidy job in pegging the Rhinos back, although that over did go for 10.
Yeah, and a bowling change, as you rightly said. Molefe into the attack here from the Enops River end. 4 wickets yesterday, we'll see how he follows up today.
Protection on the short offside boundary is at long off and deep square cover. So there's a big gap over extra cover. And it will be with the turn. Well, that very straight, too straight on the next side, swept away, but it's not going to be a boundary, just a couple.
Yeah, good fielding on the deep square boundary by the young Vian Rutven. Exciting young right-hander top order batsman and off-spinner. Also made the move down to Eastern Cape Iinyathi.
Just a single.
It's very seldom where you see a finger spinner with a front on action. You can clearly see Molefe and turn a lot in the crease. Look at his back foot landing, toe facing towards the batter. Quite unique, quite interesting, and allows him to bowl quite good pace through the air.
Yeah, it's a quick action as well, isn't it? It's certainly not an orthodox action. Just strengthening the offside field now. Long off hasn't changed, but there's a extra man coming into the ring, so there's a point, a deep gully, a short third man, and I like that the cover sweepers moved around to more of a deep extra cover. Hitting it hard and yeah, over long off, very good hit. Oh, near the top of the bank that landed. Great shot by Benji van Niekerk.
Here's the replay. He just gets it inside the ball. Swanepoel allows himself to hit over the offside, opens up the offside, gets into a good position and overpitched on this occasion by Molefe, which allows Swanepoel to hit through the line of the ball for a maximum. He's always been a classy player. Sometimes felt like he could have played at higher honours and things, but still a very good career that spans over almost 15 years already, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he's been around a long time. There were 2 men back in the general sort of area of where he was hitting that, but he backed himself and cleared them with ease. Fantastic shot. Down the wicket again, Swanepoel. This will be along the ground. Oh no, he left it. Goodness me. And it's gone for 4. Wow. Not sure what the deep extra cover was doing. He got there and then I think he tried to stop it with his foot.
Yeah, I'm sure this will create a conversation afterwards between player and coach. He's just trying to go over his foot there and he just put the long off fielder completely off his pace to field the ball. But untidy on this occasion.
Bowler won't be happy.
No, definitely not. If you look at this field placing, sort of allows Aubrey Swanepoel to identify that the bowler is going to go fuller, extra cover on the fence, and not your conventional sweep on the offside.
Down the wicket again. This is out to long off for 1. The 3 fielders kind of square and just behind square on the offside. What's their purpose, Curvis?
Yeah, I think if you do your homework, you know Aubrey Swanepoel is quite a good sweeper of the ball. He can play the conventional sweep and the reverse sweep. And the only reason why I feel that can be is to put that shot sort of at bay and allow the batter to hit straighter. But as I mentioned before, the ball was, it becomes a bit predictable because you can't really bowl the ball into the wicket. You need to go fuller because you obviously don't want the guy to get onto the back foot to be able to hit a cut shot. So it's sort of a double-edged sword where you play into the batter's strength. You know, you need to take away your normal delivery to try and beat the ball outside the off stump. So it's pretty much self-explanatory where they need to get the ball into that block hole and to be nice and full outside the off stump.
Katiwa will return. The last 3 overs have gone for 37 runs. Misses the Yorker, but it'll just be a single to long on. So the Rhinos definitely stepping things up a gear now.
Yeah, just past the halfway mark. They found themselves at 83 for free, and a good captaincy to get Mtletiwa back into the attack. He went for the least runs just to stop this partnership and a bit of run flow the last 3 overs. Very well bowled again. Tidy on that off stump. Good line and length. You find that area on the wicket which is quiet. There's nothing to score from. There's no pace to work with. So a very, very handy seamer, and definitely must say highly impressed with him.
Oh, that's lifted over square leg for 6. Great shot by Benji van Niekerk.
Yeah, one of the best commentators' curses there again, Ken. Just praises him for his accuracy, and then that one a bit too short and a bit too straight. And Benji van Niekerk too good on this occasion. Look at that, the length and the angle towards the leg side, and he just picks it up from his hip for a maximum onto the grounds embankment at Supersport Park.
And that's the 50 partnership between Van Niekerk and Swanepoel. Off 37 balls, 4 sixes in that. Down the ground, but hasn't got all of it.
Still a very good wicket, I must say. They got themselves back into the contest here. They were on the back foot against the wall just after the power play, where they lost 3 wickets in the power play for just over 40. But I must say, they're completely back into the fight. They got Rolfus, Twala van der Walt, Hendrickson is hard. They're still to come.
Sliced over backward point. Just a single for Swanepoel. Takes him to 32. Van Niekerk just one ahead on 33. Right, Katiwa has gone for 8 in the over. Can he finish well? Down the ground, this could be a wicket. Long on, rush again. Good effort. Good effort. I think it's Jason Niemand out there. Good effort. Just couldn't quite get there to make the catch.
Yeah, very well bowled. Slow delivery by Mtletiwa. We've done him for pace. Niemand does all the hard work. He runs almost to the 30-yard circle, gets to the ball, and unfortunately when he dives forward and his elbows hit the ground, the ball just spits out. And you could hear the celebrations from Mtletiwa a little bit too early, and to his disguise, unfortunately, the drop catch. But a lifeline for Van Niekerk as he moves on to 34, and after 11 overs, 92 for free.
Well, again, we can see the value of hitting the deck with variations in pace. Katiwa has certainly bowled very well. 3 overs, 1 for 14, and it could very easily have been 2 for 14. Hardy Molefe is continuing, and I prefer this field now. There's a cover in the ring.
Yeah.
And a short third man, deep point, and a long off.
Now the more conservative, more field that's more regularly used by left-arm spinners in this situation. So you can see they adapted. Yeah, they want to change the field again.
Well, it's Swanepoel on strike now. So to me, it's just too much of a free hit through the covers now.
The problem I have is the mid-wicket region is open, but the short boundary is on the offside, you know, so he's always going to give himself room and try and get it inside of the ball to access the short boundary. So it's sort of a double-edged sword where Molefe is on the wrong side of the coin. Look there straight away, Swanepoel's movement. He held the ball in his approach, but he's on the wrong side of the coin with both occasions.
Surely it's easier for Swanepoel to target through extra cover now. I mean, you got three men practically behind square on the offside. One of them's got to be in front of square, surely. The guy in between point and short third man, he's in like a deep gully, and I just don't really see the purpose of him being there. If Swanepoel can pull off the reverse sweep, good for him. Heaves it down the ground. It's a mighty blow. Nearly hits the side screen.
Yeah, I'm not sure these plans will work here. Too predictable, one-dimensional. Swanepoel knows exactly what's going to come, and it's like facing a bowling machine at this point in time. They will have to rethink about this field. Look at Swanepoel here. Give himself some room. In the arc, good pace on the ball, and he just hits through the line for a maximum over the long-on fielder on its way to the side screen. You always got to set fields where you have a plan A and a plan B, Ken. And in this position here, now he's going to change his angle of approach. He's going to look to come round the wickets, which I don't think is the issue, because Swanepoel will still play the same way. One field placement change here can make the world of a difference. If you just look at the cover sweep, at the extra cover on the fence, just to swap that with the conventional point going to extra cover, and then that cover fielder in, it already takes away the opportunity to scroll freely through the offside.
Heaved out to the cow corner this time to bring up the 100 in 11 and a half overs for the Mpumalanga Rhinos.
Yeah, very good partnership of 65 between the two batters. Look at that, 100 runs, 71 delivers, and it only took them 52 minutes in this first innings of the second game of the Momentum Health Challenge today here at Supersport Park.
Now Van Niekerk has sent a slog sweep high into the air between the two fielders on the leg side boundary, and it lands safely. Molefe is looking very frustrated. He ruled the roost yesterday, but not today, and I just think it's trying to be a bit too funky with his field placings to Swanepoel that has thrown him out. Oh, he bowled him. That'll cheer him up. And you can see a very passionate celebration from Hardy Molefe. Quicker ball. And I think he yorked Van Niekerk here.
Yeah, the conventional left arm round the wicket. Gets the ball to drift it a little bit. And completely over the flight of the ball. Clean bowled. Well deserved by Hardy Molefe. Yeah, to reiterate your point, I just think he puts himself under pressure of his field placing, and to predict where Swanepoel is going to look to score and to set a field according to that, just take your personal strength away, because he had to bowl different variations, different balls. He had to look to go fuller from the start. He had to look to cramp space in terms of Aubrey Swanepoel's approach. So I always feel you need to go towards your own strength first before you start to look at what the batsman potentially will do. Good learning curve for him in this situation. And here's a talented cricketer. Herman Rolfus is just back from Northern Ireland. He played for a club called CIYMS, where Rassie van der Dussen also played a couple of seasons in the Northern Premier League. Yeah, so good to have him back. And this for me is a better position. I think they They haven't used him in the right capacity the last 2 years at Mpumalanga Rhinos. He batted too low down the order. And yeah, at number 4, number 5, I feel will be a lot more capable to really help them. And T20 number 6 is a very good position for him. He's definitely a proper all-rounder, a top order batter who can bowl with good variations and good pace. So good to have him back in the fold.
Yeah, I was going to say, genuine all-rounder. Bowled really nicely yesterday. Wasn't required to bat, but he's got an important role to play here for the Rhinos now. 102 for 4 in the 12th over, and Aubrey Swanepoel also a key man now, still there on 39, not out. Molefe last ball of his second over. Nicely tossed up, tickled around the corner. But a dot ball to end the 12th over, 102 for 4. Just a last word maybe on Molefe and the field he's employed, or his captain has employed. To me, it's been a bit of a recurring theme these 2 days that captains haven't always given their bowlers the best chance of success on occasion in these 2 days. And you said it, worrying about what a batter might do. Aubrey Swanepoel hadn't played a single sweep so far. So if he starts playing 2 or 3 sweeps and gets you away, sure, then you must change the field. But to come up with a funky field placing like they did before he's even played a single sweep and giving a gaping hole through the covers for him to score at will, wasn't the brightest, I think. Matthew Fourie back into the attack. Gave me a little bit of a pop. Stood up a bit on Swanepoel.
Yeah, clever start of Matthew Fourie, taking off the pace, bowling the off cutter into the deck. You could see it's field here with deep square, with wicket on the boundary and long on the boundary. Clever field. He'll chase up his pace. He'll bowl a few varieties here, a few slow balls, a few cutters.
Another cutter I fancy, and swing and a miss.
Yeah, not too far away from the edge there, and Swanepoel needs to think about his plans here. If you look at this ball just moving in off the seam, and a play and miss from Aubrey on the inside of the bat. And it's so important for Aubrey to start a new partnership with Herman Rolfers to keep the momentum of the side for Mpumalanga Rhinos. If they lose a wicket now, and they can easily find themselves with 2 new batters before the wicket, then it becomes quite a challenge.
Nicely whipped away off his hips. Oh, very good fielding. Scrambling bit of work at deep square leg.
Our fielder saved a certain boundary there. Phenomenal one-handed pick-up on the first bounce. The deep square boundary, well done. And it saved a certain boundary.
Herman Rolfs on strike now. We were saying he's a genuine all-rounder. He has a first-class batting average of 44. And in List A cricket, that's 50-over cricket, averages 34, which shows his capability. T20, as you're saying, he's been batting down the order. He's only batted 8 times, averages 13. Lovely shot that by Rolfs. We'll get a couple. Might have been interesting if Fourie had taken it.
Yeah, clean pickup there. He might have been in trouble. Directly, definitely out. Clean pickup would have been very close. But here you can see the position. Good fielding. Nice low down. Good throw. Definitely short. It was a clean pickup. Half a chance. Gone begging.
Clever bowling by Fourie. Based on what you've seen of their bowling over these 2 days, the Inyathi might be a team to watch, and Division 2 this season. They made the one-day cup final in Division 2 last season. Shared the trophy with the Tuskers. The game was rained out. Excellent again by Fourie. End of a very good over. It's 105 for 4 after 13.
Yeah, classic example here again, how a wicket slows the pace of the game down, and a very tidy 8 deliveries after the wicket by the team of the Eastern Cape Iinyathi to pull it back into their favour. 13 overs gone, 105 for 4. So they will definitely look to maximise this last 42 deliveries in their first innings.
Well, I was going to ask you, Kobus, what you think the Rhinos might be comfortable with. I fancy they need at least 70 of these last 7, don't they? Given what we've seen today.
Yeah, the first figure that came to mind if we look at the scorecard now is 170 will be the bare minimum for them to be competitive. If you look at the lineup of the Eastern Cape Iinyathi, there's a lot of power in that lineup, a couple of young exciting batters there, and the wicket is just getting better and better. And if you look how easily they've chased down the score in the morning game, the Northern Cape Heat side, I can't think anything less than 170 will be competitive from here on in.
In the first match yesterday, Jason Niemand batted superbly, 68 with just 36 balls, and a really good partnership with the wicketkeeper Msidisi Malika, who made 33 of 20. So it's good bowling by Malefe, good start to his third over.
Yeah, I put him under the pump in his first over, but he come back nicely after that since he picked up the wicket also. And here you could see how skillful he is to bowl this negative line, so to speak, over the wicket, left arm over the wicket into the right-handed batter's pads. He's taking away all his room.
Oh, clears the front leg and has picked the gap very well between the two leg side fielders for 4.
They say still persistent of the same field with the 3 fielders behind square on the offside. I can't tell you, Ken, I can't see how the ball can get to one of those fielders with the angle he's bowling over the wicket.
It hasn't. Not a single ball has gone to them, so it really is quite bizarre. Down the wicket, down, heaved out to cow corner. Sonapul goes to 45, not out.
Yeah, but just look at the logic of that field. He's bowling outside leg stump line, and you've got 5 fielders on the offside and 4 fielders on the leg side. It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. On the off chance of a reverse paddle sweep. Sometimes cricket gets overcomplicated.
Yeah, over a long period of time, the most successful sides and players have kept it very simple. They stick to the basics for long periods of time, and they get rewarded.
I forget who said it, but they said the greatest players are always those who do the basics the best and for the longest period of time.
Yeah.
As you say. Down to long on for a single, so it's a good third over by Khadise Malefe, just 6 runs off it, 111 for 4 after 14.
Yeah, he looks a lot more handy if he goes conventional with a normal field as a left-arm spinner, and there's a good reason why I picked up 4 yesterday. You can see there's a lot to work with. Accurate, good pace through the air. So very handy left-arm spinner to have in your armoury.
Inyathi, of course, have this season lost their star spinner from last season, Jade de Klerk, who was absolutely prolific for them. And he's gone and joined Northwest, getting a a well-deserved opportunity in Division 1. But Molefe has moved from Limpopo to plug the gap. He's just 25 years old, Molefe, former SA Under-19 representative, so good to see him get a lot of cricket this summer, as that's a useful delivery indeed by Totana. It's called wide, but it's been good to see the Inyathi seamers hit the deck hard, and with changes of pace makes it hard to hit.
Yeah, the square leg umpire indicated the wide delivery for height over the batter's head at this occasion. But still a good variation to bowl the ball hard into the wicket.
Gets it up there, the second delivery, just a single.
Totana only bowling his second over. His first over went for 11 runs. He'll try his utmost best to have an impact in this game. 1 or 2 more wickets here can put him in a good position.
Going for the Yorker, it's a shin high full toss that's put away easily for 4 by Aubrey Swanepoel, and he's on the brink of a 50 now, 49 not out.
Yeah, you can see straight away the way how low he gets. That's an old character trait of Aubrey Swanepoel's batting, how he sits with the downed knees in the crease, but he walks across over to that off stump line to manipulate the ball to the leg side, and he's 1 away from a well-deserved half century.
And there it is, pulled emphatically through mid-wicket for 4 by Aubrey Swanepoel to go to 50.
Yeah, well-deserved 50 for his new team. Always nice to make an impact early doors in your career if you do the move from Kimberley to White River where they base, where they play their cricket. And a well-deserved, well-played 50 here by Aubrey Swanepoel.
Off just 30 balls. Aubrey Swanepoel, 6 4s and 3 6s. Oh no, that's a beamer. That's going to be a no ball. And a free hit. And a warning, no doubt.
Yeah, things gone a bit pear-shaped here. Aubrey Swanepoel still on the floor. And there's the friendly warning from the umpire. Only 1 beamer allowed. Second one will be the end of your bowling spell, and that's always been a rule in terms of player safety. Since I can remember, that rule has been in place.
Yeah. Too short. Can't bowl that length, especially not on a free hit, and Swanepoel whips it away for 6 more.
Yeah, just too easy, too short and straight. You can see the line of attack is wrong and the lengths are wrong. Aubrey gets deep to the crease, it just helps it on. Favourable field placing also, with fine leg in the 30-yard circle, so just a lot wrong with that delivery and easy pickings for a boundary.
And Totano is now going to bowl around the wicket Swanepoel just to get some angle away from that short leg side, but Swanepoel walks across and flicks it just over short fine leg for 4. Excellent batting, all the experience in the world. He knew exactly what was coming and was there waiting for it.
Yeah, it's dangerous when Swanepoel gets into this frame of mind where he's so destructive. He gets the sense where his team can't get bowled out anymore. They know they were a little bit behind the 8 ball. And he's maximising. Here you can see Totana already went for 31. He's still got a ball left in his second over. So Swanepoel realised that it's a great wicket and they need to maximise.
And Swanepoel makes sure he keeps the strike, which is not a bad thing with that single. It's 133 for 4 after 15 overs. Aubrey Swanepoel has really been around the cricket scene for an age. He made his debut as a 17-year-old back in 2006-07, and this is his 103rd T20 game. I don't think there were T20s when he started out his career. Maybe there were, but it's his sixth half century in the T20 format. He's played 135 first-class games, 125 list A. Really a stalwart of cricket in the Free State and the Northern Cape. And now for Mpumalanga, 36 years old, bringing all that experience. I think he's going to help Mpumalanga continue the momentum, the improvement they showed last season in domestic cricket. Khali Malefe to bowl his last over. Trying to pull a strike, look at that. Hopping outside leg stump and blasting the spinner straight back over his head for 4. This is wonderful cricket by Aubrey Swanepoel.
Yeah, one direction. Aubrey Swanepoel give himself room again. Khali Malefe gives himself room outside the leg stump and hits it straight over. The power and the placement sublime from Aubrey Swanepoel. They're moving on at the rapid pace here in the back end of this first innings of the second match today here at Supersport Park.
This time he goes leg side, just top corner, nearly ran past it. Just managed to get a hand on it. Come back for 2.
Yeah, we praised the Eastern Cape Iinyathi side for energy and the way they fielded in the first half of this match. But since Swanepoel has been on fire, things went a bit pear-shaped here in the field and of their bowling plans.
Flatter from Malefe. Drop catch, but it would have been a wonderful catch if he'd held on to that. That was blasted back at him with huge amount of heat. And Swanepoel just pats Malefe on the back, checking he's okay. It was a brave attempt.
You're always glad there's no harm done of these sort of shots. Easily break a finger and it puts you on a sideline for at least 2 months. The start of the season looming here with these youngsters.
That's going to be a wide.
Oh, very wide. Must say I'm very impressed with Malika, the wicketkeeper this far. He's been tied behind the stumps. Not always easy at times with T20 cricket, but the way his glove work has been today, very impressive.
Body on the line by extra cover, well done. Stops it going through. And Inyathi just under pressure, the bowlers and the fielders, and just need to keep their nerve. There were 1 or 2 cracks showing just now, but now excellent bit of work by the wicketkeeper and a good save at extra cover. Is that just bat? Looped over the wicketkeeper.
Yeah, most likely the back of the bat. You can see the umpire giving it as runs. So Rolf does not completely get to the pitch of the ball. It just loops over the wicketkeeper for a single.
Back to over the wicket. To Swanepoel, heaved out to long on for 1. To end the over, 16 gone, 143 for 4. And yeah, 180 plus if Swanepoel stays in, is back on for the Rhinos. Khadisa Malefe, it's been a tough old day for him. 4 overs, 1 for 40 today, but perhaps back in the change room when they do the analysis, he and the coach can chat about some of the field settings that were employed today.
Yeah, I think we've harped on that point for quite some time now, but my final mentioning I want to do is just to make sure that you stick to your own strengths. Don't look to the batter's strengths first. Look to your own strengths first and see how I can give myself the best chance to compete in a certain way. And then if he adapts, then you can actually adapt towards that, but not be the first one to change your plan that made you successful over a long period of time.
Fantastic point, Kobus says. Matthew Fourie is back in. And again, it's just a little bit of pace off, very good channel just outside off stump. He's really bowled well. He's into his 4th over and has just conceded 22 runs and got a wicket as well.
Always in these situations, you hope the team bowling second will take a close look at what worked for the team bowling first.
Full and wide and slashed away by Swanepoel. Too full and probably not quite wide enough if you're going to bowl that length outside off stump.
Yeah, I must say that's a classy shot. We know Swanepoel got so much talent and so much energy, but to be able to hit that ball over point so deep, to get the bat speed, to get the ball over point, third man and cover sweeper on the fence. So it's not a bad ball towards his field, but just the class of Aubrey Swanepoel to get underneath that ball, to elevate it over the points fielder for a boundary.
I think you're right. Take it back, not the bowler's fault. Credit to the batsman who is now out. Just trying to get too clever that time. A running paddle scoop and he's picked out.
Yeah, we were praising him. Yeah, we were praising him not for playing the sweep and the funny shots against the left arm spinner. He played it down the ground, and the first funny shot, he gave his wicket away here on 76. And I must say, at the back end of the innings, such a wicket can easily save you 20 runs in the field as a fielding side. So they'll have the energy up, but nonetheless, a very good innings played by the evergreen Aubrey Swanepoel.
Evergreen indeed, and sadly for the Rhinos, that could make a big difference in terms of their final total. Aubrey Swanepoel, an excellent 76 though, has led them to a good position, 147 for 5. Rolfs has been there for a while now, so he'll need to step up and provide a good finish. Swanepoel then 76 or 41 balls, 9 fours and 4 sixes, caught by Du Toit off the bowling of Fourie.
Yeah, a new batter made his way out to the crease, Musa Twala, St Albans College scholar. He finished school here. He's part of the Titans for 2 seasons, and he moved across to Mpumalanga Rhinos for game time and to get into the mix of things. Right-handed batter, wicket-keeper. A bright future ahead of him, still very young. So let's see how he manipulates this partnerships with Rolfus on the other end.
Nice shot to start, but very well fielded by Fourie. It's the dot ball, keeps Twala on strike.
Yeah, Matthew Fourie definitely deserved that second wicket. He got 2 balls left in his bowling spell. New batter on strike. You can see this field change here. Cover sweeper comes into the circle, and the mid-wicket fielder goes to the boundary. I like to see what the plan sees in the thinking here.
Again, a cutter just outside off stump. Length. Difficult for a new batter to put that one away. Oh, Twala, that's a lovely shot. Fabulous shot. I've just said how difficult it is to put away those cutters bowled into the pitch on that line, but he really struck that sweetly and wonderful footwork as well to get into position to do it.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal shot. I can't agree more if you can, but if you look at the field placing again, with the cover sweeper in the circle, going away of his plan that had been successful for so long, of saying that it's already 150 up in the 70th over 5 down. That could so easily have been your last ball of your bowling spell, 1 to the cover sweeper. Thanks for coming, good bowling spell, and now unfortunately His last ball went for a boundary, and he ends with 4 overs, 2 for 30. Nonetheless, very good bowling, but don't overcomplicate a winning formula.
In their defence, I will say that I often moan about fielding sides giving a new batsman an easy single. So I might well have had the cover sweeper up as well, and just to make it hard. To be fair, it took a really good shot to pierce the field. Wasn't a bad ball at all. But 151 for 5. Now 3 overs left. Consolidation returns 2 overs, 1 for 12, and 3-4. So all 12, all the runs he's conceded have been via boundaries. He will be wanting to concede 1s and 2s now rather than boundaries. Good bowling. Rolfs just struggling a little bit to get going. 5 of 10 balls now.
Yeah, very conservative start here from Rolfs. Not played a shot in anger yet. 5 singles to his name, and the last 17 balls, I think it's important just to make a play and to give yourself 1 or 2 options to watch your strengths here at the back end.
Do you think, Kobus, that sometimes when he came to the wicket, it was obviously a case of trying to get Orbie Swanepoel on strike? So you are kind of thinking 1s. Do you think sometimes if you start your innings and that's the match situation, you can kind of get into that way of thinking, and then when you become the senior partner, sometimes it's difficult to actually really find your flow because you haven't been batting like it?
Yeah, it's a very good point. I think the important part of T20 cricket is you need to, as a batter, need to identify the intensity that's required here. And he definitely got into that mindset of let me just get off strike here to get Aubrey. And if you look at that last shot that he played, in my opinion, that was a free shot. If you look at the mid-off fielder in the circle, any sort of bat over there, it can be 2 or 4 over the extra cover or mid-off region. And you're rightly saying he was just comfortable to just punch it for 1, and that mindset is important. So your intensity, you need to determine where you are and what point of the game you are at. But as you rightly said, it's not that easy just to change it around when you're in a certain frame of mind.
Tyler again, a very nice back foot punch.
Yeah, we know Inrichsen is a hard hitter of a cricket ball. I'd like to think in season, with this amount of time left in the innings, they'll potentially bump him up the order to go and hit some maximums. Knowing Twala is more of an organised top order batter, he's not necessarily going to hit the big sixes straight away. He hit a couple of good shots so far, but those last 15-20 runs that you potentially can add to your score is so important to be able to be flexible in your approach as a coach and a senior decision-making staff in a group.
Well bowled. Consolidation hits the deck hard. Here's the sort of bounce that Supersport Park is famous for.
Yeah, it's very well bowled. You could see Rolfs gave himself some room. He realised that all 4 fielders within the 30-yard circle is on the offside, so third man in the circle, point, cover and extra cover. Hence the reason he gave himself some room, but very well bowled by Consolidation.
Again, just a single for Rolfs. Turned the over, 154 for 5 after 18 overs, and the Rhinos are going to have to go some to get 180 in these last 2 overs.
Yeah, it's a highly impressive over by Consolidation. Good plans, good skill, good energy, good pace on the ball. His plans were clear, so very well bowled by him, and that's why we can see his figures of 3 overs, 1 for 15 thus far, been rewarded with the intensity that he put in place. He'll have to bowl the 20th over, and the penultimate over will be bowled by Milutwana, who's been very good this far today.
Yeah, 3 overs, 1 for 14. Batiwa. Great job by him. He's sending long on and long off back. And there's a man at deep square leg. Bowling to a short leg side boundary and a cover sweeper. Low full toss, long on, gets across nicely. Well done, Niemand.
Yeah, great fielding by Niemand here on the long on boundary, and that's what your team needs. Your boundary fielders need to hustle now. Need to make sure that between the 5 of them, they stop 1 or 2 boundaries, because that's a big momentum shift into the change of innings. Must say, Ken, I'm very impressed with your pronunciation of some of these surnames, which is quite difficult on the tongue. Highly impressive.
Must be my Scottish background.
Definitely, yeah.
Wrap the tongue around them.
That's brilliant, yeah.
At this stage of the innings, as a bowler, are you're basically looking to get it to long on and long off, aren't you?
Yeah,
the odd variation of a slow ball bowled into the deck, obviously.
Yeah, 100%. The best bowlers knows exactly where they go, where they feel the batter can only get a single from. And as soon as you get that position, catch out in the deep. Brilliant catch by Tandon and Tini to make sure they get the big wicket of Rolfus.
I think he might have dropped it. I think it might have just spilt out as he tumbled to the ground. He made a really good yardage to get there, did Tando and Tini. And then I think it just dribbled out.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Just bumped out when he fell. Most of the time when the elbow hit the ground, the ball tended to fall out, but he did all the hard work. He made the ground towards the ball, dive underneath it, and unfortunately it just bumped out.
Saved the boundary though. But there we see again the good bowling, and Rolf's trying not to hit the long on and long off, trying to get it somewhere else, and very nearly cost him his wicket. Twala hasn't got hold of all of that at all.
Very good fielding once again by Niemand on the long on boundary. Such an important place at the back end of the innings to field that long on, long off. You need pace towards the ball, you need a strong arm to get the ball in to stop them from running a second. So that's the places where guys really are proud of them fielding at the back end. I remember my time, 2 guys that stand out there fielding there, Farhan Bayardeen and Ainukun. It was electric across the field. Ainukun, the yardage they covered in a short space of time, and the amount of extra balls they caught on the rope to make sure that they ready on match day was phenomenal.
Full toss, and that's well put away by Herman Rolfs. Picked his spot and gets a much needed boundary for the Rhinos. Started off as a wicket keeper. Not a bad outfielder to have, goodness me. Him and A.B. de Villiers were quite a pairing on the offside, and then, as you say, late in the innings drop off to long on, long off. Farhan Bayardeen, very good too. That ends the 19th over, 163 for 5, and suddenly the Rhinos are targeting 170 really. They need to get that bare minimum, I would suggest.
Yeah, it just shows how that wicket of Swanepoel stopped the flow of runs completely, and the way how the Eastern Cape Iinyathi bounced on that opportunity to get 2 new batters and to bowl a few dot deliveries towards them just showed how it stopped the runs. And you can look at that rate achieved, it's below 9 and over now, and last 6 balls, big 6 balls here for Tandon and Tini from the Enos Park River end.
Herman Rolfs on strike, just coming off a boundary, so he'll be feeling a little bit better about his batting. That's nicely flicked away. Just short of fine leg. Excellent effort.
Yeah, that's fantastic fielding on fine leg. He stopped a certain boundary. He went wholeheartedly for the catch. He never could have got to it. I'm glad he's not injured in the process, but very well done. He saved a certain boundary.
Very brave bit of fielding as well, especially in this early season outfield. Who knows where the ball will bounce. Two more runs to the total there.
A change in the field, third man going down and mid-off coming into the circle. Needs to take the pace off here.
Which he does, and hit to cover. A little bit of a juggle, and they're able to come through for the single. Tini will be satisfied with that though. That's probably what he was hoping the outcome would be.
Yeah, I think he also done the maths and he feel like Rolfus is the one who can hurt him more in this partnership here at the back in the last 4 deliveries. So he's happy to get a single to get Rolfus off strike, to have 4 balls to Twala. And I want to reiterate my point. Malika behind the stumps has been phenomenal.
He had a very good tournament last year when the Inyathi won the trophy. Very tidy behind the stumps, did well batting. Batted well yesterday as well. And as you say, is keeping immaculate, and that's a very good catch. Diving forward at extra cover, and Intini has another wicket. Christian de Toy has been good in the field today, and that's an excellent catch, diving forward.
Yeah, he got very good hands, a very good slip fielder also. Obviously finding his feet in the new team. It's always the case how you see, players' background and things, and you see the team in the first over and he goes down to third man. You got to earn your stripes. That's part of cricket, and that's part of growing up and part of becoming part of a new team. So he just had he came back from injury. He had an ankle injury. He tore his ligaments in his ankle, so he's still with a big strap on there, but back to full fitness and ready to get going. So a very good pair of hands on him also.
Musatwala goes for 6 off just 7 deliveries, and only 3 balls left in the innings now. So the Rhinos, well, they need 3 boundaries, don't they, really, to feel happy with their innings. Luco van der Walt is the new batsman. Swing and a miss. Ralphs, oh, he would have been out. Had Malika hit there that just missed. They've got away with the bye.
Yeah, brave single there by Rolfus. He realised he needed to get on strike. So high risk, high reward in this occasion for him. There was only a single on offer. Malika steadied himself. Good throw, he just missed the leg stump. But important for Rolfus to maximise these last 2 deliveries from Tandon and Tini.
Oh, he's done well to get a bat on that. Maybe give it. He's coming back for the second. The throw is not going to be good enough to stop it. I'm sure he would have liked to get that away to the boundary for 4. That or miss it and get the extra ball for the wide.
It's one of those shots where you feel you need to go for it, but you feel it needs a boundary written next to its name. It's not where we've only 2. Nonetheless, very good athletic fielding here down on fine leg to save the boundary.
Very difficult to stop the instinct of going for it. It's like a golfer trying to stop his swing in the backswing. Slapped away to extra cover. Good fielding again by Du Toit, and that will end the over. A very good over by Tando and Tini. And the Mpumalanga Rhinos close on 170 for 6. Herman Rolfs will finish on 21 not out, 22 balls, and but you see there the star of the show today, after the Rhinos were sent in to bat, Aubrey Swanepoel, 76 or 40 balls. Benji van Niekerk had a good partnership with him. He made 37 off 34. Good bowling by the Inyathi, especially by the 2 new ball bowlers, Tando and Tini. 2 for 21 in 4 overs. Matthew Fourie 2 for 30 in 4, and Alendile Mletiwa also very good, 1 for 23 in his 4. Have the Rhinos got enough Cooper speed on?
Yeah, I think it's a very good finish here by the Inyathi bowlers to keep the momentum with them. My personal opinion, if you look at where they were halfway stages, they're about 20 runs short here. But nonetheless, Ntule and Fourie been very good today in this encounter. And look at the batting card there. Swanepoel stands out of 76 of his 40 balls in the middle order. And the fact that Alman Rufus couldn't get the strike rate of over 100 here is a bit worrying for me, that they've left a bit of runs out there in this first innings.
So it's going to be an interesting run chase, certainly. One feels the Eastern Cape Iinyathi will be well pleased with their work, though, in limiting the Rhinos to 170. 171 to get then for the Eastern Cape Iinyathi, and that'll surely put them in Thursday's final if they record their second win of the Momentum Health Challenge. Do join us again in about 10 minutes. Day 2 of the Momentum Health Challenge. I'm Ken Borland as we see the Eastern Cape Iinyathi trying to reach a target of 171 against the Northern Cape Heat for their second win of this tournament. Alongside me is former Titans all-rounder and very successful coach now, Kobus Pienaar. Kobus, Inyathi, slight favourites?
Yeah, thanks, Ken. Good afternoon. The last 20, as you rightly said. Yeah, I think Mpumalanga Rhinos lost a lot of runs at the back end here. They left it out there. They had a good partnership, but the break of partnership there of Swanepoel made them fall away a bit. And here's the most successful bowler of yesterday, seam bowler on display. He got 3 for 12 in his 4 overs yesterday, Johnny Innings. So he'll be a handful. Straight away, some swing away from the right-hander.
Yeah, Hendrickson had a maiden as well inside those 4 overs. That's a rarity in T20 cricket. But yeah, it's going to be key for the Inyathi to get off to a good start. They can't lose a few wickets now in the power play, then they're going to be under pressure. So they'll have the better momentum with them from the first innings. But important that they maintain that. Nathan Rue gets off the mark with a little dab to third man.
Yeah, I must say, Innings looks nice, fit and strong. No, he didn't go over to the UK in this off-season. He spent a bit of time in Nelspruit, working on a couple of niggles, getting a bit stronger. And he'll be a handful, especially the red ball cricket. Got a good engine in him, bowls a lot of overs. And as the leader of this attack, it's so important for him to hit the season running in the right direction.
He was very impressive yesterday. Aggression first up from Aluhle Sazani.
Sazani bowled a couple of overs of off spin, so he'll have a good idea of what the wicket plays like. You can see that short boundary was quite inviting of that shot. He wanted to pick it up over the mid-wicket fielder, but the extra bounce and the length that Henderson hit there made it quite difficult to get underneath.
Hendrickson is good at hitting those hard lengths. There it is again, tucking up Nathan Rue.
If you look at the best bowlers in the world, if you look at Josh Hazelwood, which comes to mind to me straight away, the lengths that he bowls in Test cricket, one-day internationals, in T20 don't change a lot. If you hit that top off that good length on a wicket that you feel to make the batter uncomfortable, it stays a good length, doesn't matter what format you play.
A bit down leg side from Hendrickson, hopeful appeal for caught behind. Might be lucky to get away with the wide there.
Yeah, my first initial thought also was he got away with that one. Maybe he went too far across and the ball went over the leg stump. That's the only reason why the umpire couldn't have called it a wide delivery. But nonetheless, one ball left in this first over.
Struck on the pads, it kept down a little bit. Fire could be run out. Oh, just missed the stumps. Nathan Rue, where were you going? Very unaware.
That just shows you he was under pressure with that dismissal. He thought he was out.
It does
If he
happen,
runs that
doesn't
way,
it?
definitely feels
Quite
it.
often.
Maybe a bit high. That's the only thing that I
Yeah.
feel would put the umpire off. We know the extra bounce here at Supersport Park, but definitely in line. Hitting middle stump, just clipping the bail or just go over. So not a bad decision by the umpire if he feels there was extra bounce with the new ball.
It certainly didn't bounce as much as you'd expect from that length. So a very good first over though by John Hendrickson, just two runs off it. As Gareth Dukes comes steaming in from the Henops River end. Nicely played by Sazani.
Yeah, both bowlers here looking to swing the ball away from the right-hander with good effect and good will. Mature bowlers, guys who've been around the block, who played a bit of cricket at first class with decent records, both of them. So that maturity level from a fast bowler is also so important. If you just look at Tandon and Tini, how much better he was today. We spoke about him being a bit of a journeyman over the past few years, but the way he came back today and settled himself were phenomenal.
Short ball from Dukes, and Roo rides it well, gets a single. The two fielders allowed on the boundary for Duke, so at third man and deep square leg, just in case he wants to bowl the short ball.
Very clever, very mature, just took the pace off there, forces Sizana onto the front foot. Conventional field with the fine leg in the circle and deep square out for protection. So the short ball will definitely be in the back of the batter's mind here.
Oh, well, he's reached for it, walloped it mid-on, running across, just can't get there.
Yeah, you sometimes feel that shot will be easily hit over the offside, how wide it was outside the off stump. But the lack of pace on that ball made Sizana dragging that ball across to the leg side for a welcome 2 runs.
Yeah, we're more accustomed to slower balls being delivered when the ball gets a bit soft, but there's no law against you bowling slower balls with the new ball. It can be very effective as well. Probably a bit harder to grip though and to execute.
Yeah, this team of Mpumalanga also lost a big player, Yuri Snyman, coming back home. He's going to play for Easterns this coming season. That's quite a big loss for them. In terms of their plans the last few years, he's been very successful for them. Hard hitting top order batter and a very tidy off spinner, a strong leader in the change room also. So big boots to fill.
Nicely put away through cover point by Alika Sizani for the first boundary of the innings. Ends what was otherwise a very tidy over by Gareth Dukes. It's 9 without loss after 2 overs. And in case you're wondering why Yuri Snyman hasn't been playing for the Eastern Storm this weekend, he's still overseas playing club cricket. Do you know where he is, Kubus?
No, I'm not 100% sure where Yuri is this year. I know he did a bit of coaching also here in Pretoria at Menlo Park. His wife works close to the school there, so he travelled a bit from here to White River. So a bit closer for him to home. Good to be back, and a good attribute for the Mpumalanga. Back to Easterns, back to home for him, where he went to school. I know his dad still working at school at Kempton Park, Jeugland. That's where his dad's a teacher. He went to school there also. So yeah, big cricketing pedigree for him. So sort of a full circle moment for him also. And then to start that point is the like for like replacement, and getting the mature Aubrey Swanepoel in for him in that same sort of capacity was very handy signing.
Thinking of a second, the batsman ran the first one quickly, as you should, but the fielding is precise. $12 without loss now, the score. Just a bit of a lag on our on-screen display. Swing and a miss. Hendrickson is just started to get a little bit leg side with some of his bowling in the back end of his first over, and here in the second over as well. He needs to be careful bowling to a short boundary on the leg side.
Yeah, Nathan Roo, yeah, in front of the wickets now, wicket-keeper batter. Went to Queen's College and then went down to Free State, played a bit of cricket there for the Knights Academy, made his debut there for Free State, and now back home to the Eastern Cape, where he plays his cricket.
Nicely hooked away. 1 bounce for.
Yeah, Innings guilty on this occasion. No short of stature. Batsmen are quite strong against the short ball. And he came down the wicket. You could see his initial movement down the wicket, and Innings fell for the plan. He went short, digged it in, and Roo got on top of the bounce, and he played it with ease over that vacant fine leg area for a boundary.
And another leg side delivery from Innings. I'm not sure if it's something in his action or he started so nicely. Again, leg stump. And again, it's going to be 4. Very well put away. That by Nathan Roo.
Yeah, I can see Nathan Roo very handy with the bat. Good position. And I must say, ultimately, good pace on the ball, bad delivery from Don Innings, and easy pickings for Roo. Just to use the pace, and you look at the field there, that poor deep square, no chance there. So the timing was too good at this occasion, and a welcome second boundary of the over for Nathan Roo.
And now he makes space and cracks it to square on the offside. Oh, Hendrickson is struggling. He got the line right that time, but it was too short.
Yeah, that's the craft of a good batsman and characteristics of a good batsman. He realized that Henderson needed to change his line. He sort of overcorrected it. He gave himself room, and that timing to cover point exquisite from Nathan Roo from the front foot.
What a difference a day can make. John Hendrickson just feeling on the wrong end of that at the moment. And good batting by Nathan Roo to now in the over with a well-judged single. 26 without loss, 3 gone.
Yeah, expensive third over here for the Mpumalanga Rhinos and Innings, and momentum slowly start to change in this power play. So important the way they stand. They start the innings, and this over is important over in the context of the game for Gareth Dukes, with all his experience, to pull it back for the side of the Mpumalanga Rhinos.
The aggressor, Nathan Roo, has kept the strike. 16 not out, Suzani on 9. Worked away again. They're coming back for 2. Good running and overthrows. Oh my word. They're going to get 6. 4. No. Yeah, they completed 2 runs.
The second run.
4 plus 2. 6. There
Yes.
we go. The umpire.
6, unfortunately.
Oh, poor old Gareth Dukes. You just spoken about the importance of this being a good over. He bowled a decent enough delivery. Possibly should only have been 1. They scampered back for the second and then got the overthrows.
Yeah, it's a bit untidy there. If you look at Aubrey trying to pull it extra cover, and the captain Rolfers at mid-off. The throw came to the bowler's end, and both of them were reluctant to back up, and Aubrey Swanepoel made a valiant effort to get to the ball. It was too late, and that game awareness is so important. That's why we praised Inyathi early in the first innings when they were on the ball from the start, coming in from the boundary, sort of paying attention, making each ball activity, and that was a bit complacent, and it cost them unnecessary 4 runs.
Down the wicket and hammered. That's an umpire killer from Little Sazani. What a shot, and well done to the umpire for getting out the way.
Yeah, they definitely came out of a positive mindset. You could see Susanna uses his feet coming down the wicket, and the umpire, nice ballerina, hopped there to get out of the way. The best place to hit the ball in the beginning of the inning, straight down the ground towards the side screen.
And now a hook shot. Oh, I don't think Kyle Corner could have reached it, and decided just to take it on the bounce. Turning into a very good start this by the Inyathi. 38 without loss. 2 balls left in the 4th over.
Good shot to get by Nathan Roo to mid-on and scampers through for one. And the two experienced senior statesmen in Hendrickson and Dukes are just under the pump a little bit here in the second over each of this power play.
I'm sure there's going to be a bowling change after this delivery, maybe even a double change, as the over ends with a single, 40 without loss after 4 overs.
Yeah, it's always a nice way if you held the rate in the chase in the power play. And that, if you look at the rate achieved here, going at 10s, and rate required from here on in is 8.2. And the captain here, the first bowling change, the right arm, Herman Rolfes, going to be the first bowling change here for the Mpumalanga Rhinos, coming from the West Lane end.
Bowled nicely on the first day, Herman Rolfes. Not much respect shown by Little Sazani there. But, shortish, wide mid-wicket in place.
Okay, definitely favours the pace of the bowlers. He's using his feet coming down at them. Let's see what Rolfes will do to counter his movement.
Good length that, but a very good shot by Sazani. That's a superb shot. On the up, back over the bowler's head for 6.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. That's a phenomenal shot by Litle Sazana. He fancies the pace of Rolfes, came down the wicket, and as straight as an arrow over Rolfes' head for a maximum. Fabulous batting by the young opening batter, and he's stating his claim in this run chase for the Eastern Cape Iinyathi.
46 without loss now, the Inyathi. Slow ball, well bowled. Bowled him. Very clever by Herman Rolfes. Just held it back a bit, bang on target. The big slog sweep, and Sazani's bowled.
Yeah, the shot that he played, I think he picked it out of Rolfes' hand. That's very well bowled, well disguised. Done him for pace, done him in the air. And Sazana needs to go back to the pavilion after when crossed the line, over the flight of the ball. And that's the initial breakthrough they needed in this power play. The first wicket for captain Herman Rolfes. Here we can see running in, rolling his fingers over the ball, and completely too soon. And a clean bowled by Herman Rolfes.
So Sazani gone for 21 off 13 balls, and a timely breakthrough for the Mpumalanga Rhinos, breaking an opening stand of 46 off 27 balls, coming to the crease now. Vian Ruthven, Kobespina, you know a bit about him.
Yeah, he played for me at school at Westcliff Aldercliff for a few years. He's the second guy in our school's history who were able to get 10 first team hundreds. So it comes with quite a pedigree. He did quite well for the Titans on the 19th side and at the Northern Champions at Cups Week. So definitely a player of a pedigree and highly talented, highly skilled. So it's good for these youngsters at 19 to get opportunities to play, go across the country to get opportunity. So let's see how he gets himself in this contest here against Rolfes. Interesting how things work. Obviously, Afrikaans word Sheens bowler Affies. He was captain in SA19 against the Waterkloof boy. It's always a nice rivalry. And then obviously for two teams right across the country, one at Mpumalanga Rhinos and one down in East London, makes cricket so special.
Just shows you what a hotbed of cricket talent the Pretoria area is. That's very nicely punched by Ruthven. Get off the mark with a single. Who was the other guy to score 10 hundreds in his career?
Funny enough, he's in the same side. He also moved across. Christian de Toy was the other one. Yeah, that's the two.
Yeah.
It was quite interesting for me when I started back in 2017 to do research and to get a bit of history going at the school. And funny enough, not Janeman Malan, not one of the Herman brothers achieved it. Not Peter, not Janeman, not Andre Malan, or Ruben or Jordan Herman managed to get the 10 hundreds. So that's quite a unique feature that we managed, and I must say, since the first two have managed to get it, the guys are really chasing those goals with a nice initiative of a lifelong bench next to the cricket field with your name on and your accolades.
Beautifully clipped away, wide of long on for 6 to the top of the bank. That's a fantastic shot by Nathan Roux to end the over. And the 50 up for the Inyathi of just 31 balls. That's the second 6 so far to go with 5 fours.
Yeah, I just managed to stay ahead of the run chase here, the Eastern Cape Iinyathi side. Beautiful flow of the bat swing there by Nathan Roux. He shows his class, he shows his talent, and all the momentum are with the chasing side down from East London.
That's some serious batting talent you mentioned that's come through Vaderklaf, Janneman and Peter Malan. Andre Malan played a lot of first class cricket as an all-rounder. The Herman brothers, I think we're going to be hearing a lot about them in South African cricket. And to think that, just wonderful that the bar has been raised, that the next generation is doing more than they did, and hopefully the new generation will take that bar even further as Temba Maupa starts with a no ball. He had his struggles yesterday, and he hasn't started well today either. Came back really nicely in his last over. Yesterday, managed to get a wicket. 3 overs, 1 for 30 he ended with. But I think it was something like 24 of his first 2. Bashed away to mid-wicket.
Yeah, quite a unique action here by Maupa. You can see left arm over the wicket. A very fast bowling arm, but his left side is quite lazy, and I'll almost tend to the extent of non-existing if you look at his bowling action here. Literally bowls out of his left shoulder.
Yeah, if you see him yesterday, he was running away from us, and you can very clearly see the run out. The run up just kind of stops in the crease. It's all shoulders and arms.
Must say Nathan Roux hitting the ball exceptionally well here. Got used to the pace of the wicket. He times it exquisitely. Slight change here by Maupa. He's going to come left arm round the wicket. 4 balls left in this power play. The side from Mpumalanga Rhinos will look to minimise the damage here. Look to get another breakthrough at the back end of this power play.
Oh, full toss. He gets away with it. Smash to cover.
Yeah, lucky to get away with that ball. Over pitch, outside off stump. Fabulous shot by Nathan Roux. Unfortunately, straight to the fielder.
Oh, that's an absolute jaffer on Maupa. He's totally squared up Nathan Roux. And that's what you were saying earlier, Kobus, about finding the right length on a pitch. Look at this delivery. This is fantastically bowled. There's your length, Temba Maupa. Fuller this time, just the one. Keeper had to scurry a bit for the throw.
Yeah, the extra pace here from Maupa will be quite a challenge for the young Rootsman. See how he settles himself in this partnership. There'll be a lot of nerves in him.
Beaten first ball up. There's going to be a leg by the short third man. That ends the power play. The 6 overs gone, 56 for 1, and Kobus the Inyathi will be very, very happy with that.
Yeah, very happy with the run chase, the way they set themselves up. You mentioned earlier it was interesting that they decided to send the Mpumalanga Rhinos in first, but I must say the wicket is just playing better and better as the day has gone on. There's only the one ball that kept low in the 20th over of the second innings from the spinner around the wicket. So this wicket is getting back to its best. I think tomorrow we're going to see a run fest also here, and they're free of this momentum health challenge. And that's the beauty of Supersport Park. And it's not overly warm. I know they say it's around 30 degrees, but there's no wind. It's actually a beautiful day. And from a cricketing mindset, the wind sometimes dries the wicket out quicker than the sun, which is a good that it hasn't happened here today.
Rolfs is unwell, it would seem. Just having more back to the umpire. Or has he dropped a contact lens maybe? They're looking down at the ground and gesticulating. At the moment we're looking at the two Inyathi batsmen who are having a conversation about the pitch, and everything's going well for them so far. Nosebleed by the looks of things.
Yeah, the heat definitely plays its part. It's the first time that we're experiencing conditions in excess of 30 degrees very early in the summer. I must say we didn't have spring this year, Ken. We went straight from winter into summer. Quite a mild winter, I must say, in Pretoria here, but straight into summer. So the heat definitely the reason for this nosebleed.
Rolf was in the UK playing club cricket, was he?
Yeah, in Ireland, yeah. He's up in Northern Ireland.
Because I was going to say that I was in Nelspruit for the Springboks test in I think it was the first week of July, and the temperature then was already in the 30s in the good old Lowveld. But Rolfs would have been playing in temperatures probably half of that. But he's okay, he's good to proceed. He's got a wad of toilet paper up his nose. Oh, and what a delivery. Oh, he should bowl with toilet paper up his nose more often. Beauty.
Yeah,
Ruthven is skittled for two.
A very good delivery by the right arm seamer. Rolfs just came back of the seam. You could see a rhythmical run up, economical action, good length again, and it just hit the seam and came back sharp at the right hand of Jan Ruthven through his defence, and unfortunately the young batter needs to walk back to the pavilion.
Good ball, bit of a wafty shot by Ruthven, and the footwork wasn't all there, but you often see that these days in T20 cricket. The days of getting your foot to the pitch of the ball are long gone.
Yeah, he definitely came back sharply off the wicket, but as you rightly mentioned, he stayed leg side of the ball a bit. He didn't really get in line to give himself the best chance to connect that ball with a full blade. But give credit where credit is due, a very good delivery, that back of length that just hits the top of off stump, and a little bit of movement back into him made a difference. Important partnership here between Roo and Niemand for the Eastern Cape Iinyathi now. Two important players, two big players for them, two mature batters who's been around.
Yep, we said the Inyathi dominated the power play, but now Herman Rolfs has bowled his second batsman out, and that's a glimmer of hope for the Mpumalanga Rhinos. Jason Niemand was the star with the bat for the Inyathi yesterday, as he gets underway with a single to fine leg. Niemand scored 68 off 36 balls to steer the Inyathi to their target of 146, 3 overs to spare.
I don't know if you agree with me, Ken, but if you just look at this, Nathan Roo and Niemand, guys who learn their cricket in the Eastern Cape where the wickets are quite low and slow and quite challenging at times. Technically they just look very sound. You know, they get in good positions, they play the ball nice and late, and that allows them to grow from there. I think if you look at the dismissal of Rutvan, it sort of shows guys who get brought up on high-foul wickets where they tend not to get in such good positions in the beginning of the innings. But as soon as they're in, they can hurt you, which is the two aspects of our country which makes it quite unique.
Dead right, I agree with you. I was actually going to say earlier to you that Buffalo Park, East London, would you say it's the pitch in this country that's closest to English conditions? It kind of nibbles around, doesn't it? And the medium pacers have a great time there.
Yeah, it's sometimes more than medium paces is effective than the spin bowlers because the spin, the turn is too slow, So it's more those medium paces which as I said earlier, when what was his surname?
Well, a guy
Mletaya bowled. When he bowled,
yes,
bowled,
yes.
he feels for me he sums up the conditions in the Eastern Cape in East London up 100%. Where he just is the top of off stump, the fuller length, which is quite challenging.
Ooh. Trying to hit the back of a length delivery there, Nathan Rue nearly got himself into trouble. It's a super over from Nathan Rue. I'm going to look up the record of a guy by the name of Pakamani Fajela, who has played
Phenomenal record,
yeah. Kurbis knows.
Yeah, he got a phenomenal record, yeah.
Played a lot of cricket in East London, and when I tell you his record, you will wonder why. Maybe you've never heard of him. He's never really played much Division 1 cricket. Ooh, Upish just past that man at a short cover. Back they come for a third.
Very well done by Hendrickson to stop the boundary. They turned for 3 runs. Important breakthrough in that over for Rolfers, just outside of the power play. And the Eastern Cape Iinyathi move on to 63 for 2 after 7 overs. Change of bowling. Looks like we're going to see introduction of spin from the Inyathi River end. Mapaka, the left-arm spinner, going to start his proceedings round the wicket to the right-handed Rue on strike.
Interesting run-up Mapaka has as he's saturated deep cover. Could be a bit off-putting for a batsman if you don't know what to expect, because he starts running in, stops, and then it gets going again. His brother Kwena has none of those stop-start things in his runner. And this time the placement is even better. Away for 4. Mapaka just a fraction short.
Yeah, Rue used to the conditions now, used to the pace of the wicket. And now Niman joined him with his first boundary to open the account for him also. So as we rightly said, important partnership in the context of this game here.
Cover sweeper's a busy man in this over.
Yeah, more the conventional field for the left-arm spinner, turning the ball away from the right-handed batter.
Long off might be in business here. Oh no, oh, watch the spin.
Yeah, Nathan Rue, you could see straight away he wanted to hit it over that extra cover fielder. Almost got too much of it. It allowed the long off fielder to get into action.
And now the reverse sweep almost over his shoulder. You'll get a couple. Hit a hard back off the ground to the bowler to end the 8th over, 72 for 2. So Papama Fajela stopped playing the season before last, but in 121 first-class matches, he took 344 wickets at an average of 21.33, which is just the most phenomenal record. Absolutely outstanding. 100 list A wickets and 36 T20 wickets in 35 matches as well. So yeah, there's some bowlers who grew up in the Eastern Cape, really well suited to those nibbly pitches down there.
Yeah, that's very good reading. As far as there, stalwart for very long for the border side. Had a couple of games for the Warriors. He was in and out of the squad there, but as you rightly said, I would say 90% plus of his cricket was for the border side, and a very good record to be proud of. Interesting to say that Bayer Swanepoel, if you look at his stats the last 2 years, also in the Eastern Cape for the Warriors, made the move up now to the Lions. So it'll be interesting to see how he will be able to adapt to the wickets here at the Wanderers after he had 2 incredible seasons with the Warriors.
Oh, leading edge, cover, can he get there? No, he can't. I'll get a single instead. Maupa causing problems again. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how Bayer Swanepoel does at the Lions. And I think it's a necessary move for him if he wants to break into the Proteas side, just to become a more rounded player, able to excel in different conditions.
Yeah, the challenge is for the Lions is with that squad depth, who they're going to leave out and who they're going to get on the park.
Too much on the pads by Maupa. He's kicking the ground in frustration. Good ball followed by a bad one. Concedes 4.
Yeah, Niemand moved into double figures. He didn't play a shot in anger yet. He just uses the pace of the ball. The line completely off target. And he knew the back of his mind that that fine leg field is in the circle. So anything on there, any bat there, will get it into that gap for a welcome boundary.
Just on that Lions team, it's creating great competition there. They've got some quality all-rounders, of course. Bjorn Fortuin, the spin bowling all-rounder. Vian Mulder, of course, but he's not going to play much. He's involved too much with the Proteas. But I feel sorry in a way for Delano Potgieter. He's a really good cricketer and has done some great things for the Lions. And it's going to put his place under a bit of pressure. Well bowled by Maupa again.
The 2 guys that comes to mind for me there whose fields to place in the side is going to be under jeopardy, as Delano, as you rightly said, and I don't want to see Evan Jones. I think it's a bright future and a great talent there. He can bowl in excess of 140 k's an hour, hard-hitting middle order batsman. And if you look at his first average is over 50, but he can't get into the Lions 4-day side. So the option is potentially to send one of them, especially for red ball cricket, on loan, just to grow their careers.
Yeah, Evan Jones is an interesting case. I saw him early on in his career playing for Tucks. I don't think we've seen anything near his potential as a batsman. He's a very handy bowler, as you say, especially high felt wickets, banging it in hard, using variations. But he hasn't been able to fully express himself as a batsman. And well, I hope John O'Leaf Wright's not listening, but perhaps a move away from the Lions where he can get more opportunity and shine more as a batsman would do his long-term prospects a bit better.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult discussion, that especially for the players in that Lions environment, with some of the most qualified and best coaches with a massive track record, to learn from the best and to be around in that environment. It would be tough to go away, because you're literally 1 or 2 good games away from the next gig, because those coaches are well renowned across the board in all different leagues and in different countries and things, so it's a tough one. But I agree with you. If you look at his record in first class cricket, it speaks volumes of him in terms of his batting capacity. And he's not just the guy who's going to come in and hit sixes. He's a batter who, once he's in, is very, very destructive. And if you look at the way he played when he was at Northern Cape that one season, amassing big hundreds and setting himself up, I don't think he's a number 7, 8. I think he's more like a number 5, 6 to get himself in and then get going from there. And I fully agree with you. His bowling, in my opinion, is his second skill.
I agree with you, Curvis, absolutely. And it's interesting, that debate that you raised about the benefits of just being in that environment of a winning team with such great coaching, because that's exactly the debate that a young guy who's now left the Lions to join the Warriors had to go through. Aubrey Swanepoel into the attack.
Yeah, he'll definitely have a few tricks up his sleeve. You can see the way how he disguises the ball when he runs in. Always been one of his strengths is to the variety of deliveries that he can bowl. He can bowl the conventional off spinner, he can bowl the leg spinner. There's a lot of tricks up his sleeve.
It's a lucky packet, isn't it?
100%. You couldn't have said it better. And that's what made him play for the Knights when he was a very, very young cricketer from Kimberley, when they pulled him in with the variety of tricks, especially in the T20 format.
Very handy cricketer indeed, Aubrey Swanepoel. We saw how well he batted, and fully expect him to do a good job here with the ball. Very good running between the wickets to get 2 out of that one. So the youngster I was talking about was Muhammad Manak, a very highly rated young batter who on the fringes of the Lions team. Advancing down the wicket there, Jason Niemand, and has left to join the Warriors for this summer, just to play more regularly. But I know it was a tough decision for him, based on exactly what you said about how much he could still learn from the likes of Hashim Amla as a batting coach. No, Swanepoel's done well to claw that run back in. Two overs, 1 for 14 yesterday, Jason Swanepoel.
Yeah, what I've seen from Manak in his early career, he's definitely capable to adjust technically wise in the Eastern Cape, also for the Warriors down in Quebec. He'll be able to adapt to the wickets and the conditions there. And a nice thing for a player like him, he's got so much time in his career ahead of him. If you do well, he can always come back.
Exactly right. One ball left in the 10th over, 86 for 2. And the Inyathi are just past halfway in terms of their target. He's almost just bowling medium paces.
Yeah, it looks like, it looks like it's coming out of the front of the hand. It's important, last delivery there. And yeah, at the halfway stage, 86 for 2 after 10. If you look at the comparisons there, with the Mpumalanga Rhinos, they only lost 1 wicket more and 4 runs less, so 82 for 3. Not much in that. Very similar at this stage of the game. So this next 5 overs will set up a nice contest here on the back end of this second day of the Momentum Health T20 competition.
Yeah, halfway through the overs and 86 on the board and 85 runs to win. So it's all very neatly balanced at the moment. And as you said earlier, Curvis, this surely is the key partnership between Nathan Rue on 42 and the informed Jason Niemand on 18. Maupa will continue. 2 overs for 12 so far.
Yeah, as it stands at the halfway stage, rate achieved 8.6, rate required 8.5. So throughout the innings, the rate required was never higher than the rate achieved. So it'll be interesting to see what will happen in the next 2-3 overs. Good fielding from Rolfus and the direct hit. Unfortunately, gave them the opportunity to take a second run. And that will add 2 to the tally for Nathan Rue and the Eastern Cape Iinyathi.
Excellent running. You know, Rue hit that very hard, but straight to the deep mid on. But just the heat that was on that ball, I think he backed he backed himself that the fielder would not be able to pick it up and throw.
Yeah, I like his demeanour. I like his energy at the crease. Since he got into, he's a hustle and bustle cricketer.
Yeah.
He's good against a short ball.
It hasn't been frenetic though.
No.
It's been just the right sort of intensity. I agree with you. And that's going to beat. No, it's not. Excellent effort. Excellent diving stop. Oh, the deep mid on.
Yeah, for me, the word that comes to mind is a busy batsman. You know, he sort of makes a play. He reacts. He's proactive. He's not reactive, which is good, but definitely not outside of his box. He's got a strong game plan, and he plays within it.
Herman Rolfs, the fielder, doing great work at mid on there. Maupa. Pace off into the deck is difficult to get away here at Supersport Park. Yeah, I haven't really had a thrilling, nail-biting finish yet in this tournament. So this match could be the one. Short and leg side is put away for 4 by Nathan Rue, and that's going to be his 50. Doing a great job at the top of the order here for the Inyathi.
Yeah, very well played 50 by Nathan Rue. We just praised him, the way he goes about his business, gets in good positions. Unfortunately, this occasion, this is a freebie, but his 50 comes with 34 balls with 4 fours and 2 maximums. Impressive strike rate of 147 in a run chase. And that's exactly where the big players need to step up to make sure you get your team home and over the line.
Oh, he's chopped on. Oh my word. What a breakthrough by Temba Maupa. Nathan Rue was going so well. That is a big blow struck for the Mpumalanga Rhinos.
Yeah, a massive blow. I can't say that's just a lack of concentration. It's a nothing ball. Maybe we're looking to hit a 2 square. Look at the line of the ball. I think it's on that off stump line. Outside the off stump, yeah, actually a bad delivery, but just a lack of concentration. Potentially looking to hit 2 square, but that's the end of Nathan Rue for a well played 50 or 35 balls. And here's another recruit, Christian de Toy, making his way to the middle.
What can you tell us about Christian de Toy, Kobus?
Yeah, usually more of a top order batter, opening batsman throughout his career. That's where he sort of made all his runs for Tuks, and most likely to see him bat late in his career, also top of the order. But it's a good opportunity for him to get in. A very hard-hitting batsman, strong off the front foot. Got a good presence at the crease, quite strongly built, a big man, and a lovely guy off the field. Studying BCom accounting at University of Pretoria, also into his 3rd year of BCom accounting year. So just a good all-round human being, and I wish him all success. Hope he finishes the degree also. I think that's important in the youth of today. But wish him well in his career, and it's also always nice to get an opportunity to play at the highest level.
Yeah, he looks a big, strong guy. It's my first impression. A good athlete. He fielded very nicely, took a great catch diving forward towards the end of the Rhinos innings. Upa going for the block hole first up, didn't miss by much. And Upa continues to do a good job here. 1 for 20 in 3 overs. It's 94 for 3 after 11 overs. And the Inyathi needs 77 off 54 balls to win.
Yeah, I think also this is a great competition, the Momentum Health Challenge, to get these guys to move teams, get used to the squads, and for the coaches to see the new players, and to create some team cohesion, and to make sure what balance you're going to use in time to come. The season is about a month ago, if I'm not mistaken, Ken. I think the first games are the last weekend of September. So still good time for the guys to prepare for the coming season.
Hats off to the Titans Cricket Union for this initiative. It's obviously to the great benefit of these Division 2 teams to enable them to play at a top stadium in their pre-season warm-ups. And then of course the Titans themselves get a pre-season warm-up out of it on Friday when they play the winner of Thursday's final in the Momentum Health Challenge. Oh, Toy trying to manufacture something there. He adapted well in the end.
Yeah, he opened up the offside, but the lack of pace from Swanepoel just looks like the ball held up in the wicket in the surface, and almost hit it back to Swanepoel. Lucky for that single. A good early call, good fielding.
It's a delicate cut shot by Niemand for the single. Pride rate is 8.9 to the over now, so we're getting to that stage where Inyathi need to target at least a boundary and over.
Now look at Swanepoel using all his experience in the field, cover coming closer to the bat. Swept hard by Christian de Tooy, straight to the 45 fielder. I must say, looking at this field placing, that extra cover boundary, extra cover area towards the short boundary must be quite inviting for the batters. There he goes back to conventional on the ring.
Yeah, de Tooy went to great effort walking outside off stump to try and manufacture a sweep shot there, where maybe if he just stayed still, he could have popped it over extra cover. End of a good over, 97 for 3 after 12. Just 3 runs from the Swanepoel over. So now 74 needed or 48 balls. It's a run rate of 9.2 required for the Inyathi.
We spoke about it at the halfway stage. It's becoming challenging now. That rate required is creeping up. 9.2. As soon as it goes to 10s, you have to get a boundary over, then it becomes quite challenging. So I must say, Herman Rolfers and his troops from Mpumalanga Rhinos have done well to pull this game back. We felt like they left 20 short, and the way they hustle and bustle with their fielding effort this far have really brought it back into the game.
Yeah, Rolfs and Maupa have done a really good job. And that's why I say the time is now for the Inyathi to try and target at least one boundary and over before it really becomes a major challenge for them. Because at least if you get one boundary and over now and 4 singles, you're up with the rate. Luca van der Walt is the new bowler. Bit of a tangle up between the bowler and Christian de Tooy, but all works out fine in the end.
Now, if you look at that lineup, Tandon and Tina is at number 8, so the bowler starts at number 8. So you don't want to leave too much work for the all-rounders and the bowlers. So
Tini can bat a bit. It's almost a bowling all-rounder, chopped just over the stumps by du Toit.
So the same way Nathan Roux lost his wicket with that played on outside the off stump. Important for the Toy to settle here, to get used to the pace of the wicket. Try and hit as straight as possible with a full face of the bat till you find your feet in this encounter.
He's got 1 or 5, so he's probably feeling a little bit of pressure. Wide off volley, he'll get the single.
A very good bowling by Luca van der Walt, taking all the pace off there. You could see the Toy had to reach for the ball. No timing at all.
It's like trying to hit a pancake out there at that pace. Nicely put away by Nathan Rue and Jason Niemand rather. He's been at the wicket for a while, and that's when it becomes a bit easier to deal with those deliveries. 100 up for the Inyathi of 78 balls, 8 fours and 2 sixes.
Very well bowled again by Luca van der Walt. Full in the block hole. And the Toy just managed to squeeze it out to that deep mid-wicket fielder for a single.
Just by way of comparison, that we can see how neck and neck these two teams are. The Mpumalanga Rhinos got to their 100 of 71 balls with 4 wickets down. No, 3 wickets down. And the Inyathi there in 78 deliveries. Long off, running around, just can't get there. Well done, Jason Niemand. He gets the 6.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage to hit that ball over the long off fielder. Great timing by Niemand. Still head position, get in position early. And he knew the ball was in the slot there and he hit through the line of the ball. Great timing. Rolf was on the boundary doing as much as he can, but couldn't reach the ball. And that's exactly what the Eastern Cape Iinyathi needed in this partnership, just to move the momentum across and put some pressure on the bowlers of the Mpumalanga Rhinos.
So 10 off the over, and that sees the required rate just come down a little bit to 9.1, 64 needed off 42 balls. And Jason Niemand, having batted so well yesterday, he's once again going to be the key man with the bat for the Eastern Cape Iinyathi. Aubrey Swanepoel, well, we suggested that he would probably have an impact with the ball. He's done just that, 2 overs for just 8 runs. He's getting a 3rd over.
Yeah, his 12 deliveries is going to be massive in this battle for the Mpumalanga Rhinos to get on top here.
Oh, great catch. Aubrey Swanepoel. He waves to Toy goodbye. It's been a troubled stay at the crease for Christian de Toy, and he hit that one decently, but a very good catch by Aubrey Swanepoel. Gone for 3 off 8 balls.
Yeah, Swanepoel too good in this occasion. Very sharp cotton ball, and he definitely had the better of the Toy. There you can see, try and use his feet, try and get to the pitch of the ball. See, well disguised. Get to it. I'll try and open up the offside. The ball is too close to his body, and unfortunately straight back into the safe hands of Aubrey Swanepoel.
I have a feeling that Swanepoel knew that he just picked up a body cue or something, just a little twitch by du Toit, knew where he was going and bowled it in the perfect place. Made it very hard for him to get the placement on that drive. Msadisi Malika is the new batter, and he and Jason Niemand had a great time with the bat yesterday. They added 81 for the 4th wicket, or just 46 balls. Malika got 33 of 20 deliveries. So if they do the same today, or something similar, Inyathi will win easily. Trying to put around the wicket now. Even with that short, I mean that was too short, but the way it just stuck in the pitch.
Yeah, very skillful, very skillful from Aubrey Swanepoel. He realised taking off the pace is going to be difficult for the batters. He do it to great effect at the moment. Array of tricks here up his sleeve, and look how late he makes a decision on delivering the ball.
Also just preying on the batsman's thoughts. Wonderful theatre. Bit of turn there.
Sharp turn there. Now we're nearing that required rate to go to double figures, to 10 and over. Momentum slowly changing in the right direction for the Mpumalanga Rhinos.
Oh! Deceived him with a full toss and very nearly bowled Malika. That's after a succession of shortish deliveries, he decided to really float one up there. I was going to say that I doubt that Swanepoel would bowl that short to Jason Niemand. But for the new batter coming in, just the way the ball doesn't come off the deck at from that length. Malika's struggling and now he misses a sweep down the leg side. Swanepoel got away with a wide there. He has.
Made an over, Ken.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Brilliant effort. Will be Swanepoel, and if the Rhinos do win this match, and after his batting heroics and his bowling, 3 overs, 1 for 8, I think we have an early contender for player of the match. So now the run rate did come down a bit in the previous over. That maiden over has now mean that it's rocketed up to 10.7 required. 64 needed or 36 balls, and you'd have to say the Rhinos are favourites, especially if they can nip out Jason Niemand. He's on 28 not out. 64 of 6 overs is definitely gettable though for an in batsman.
So the one thing that makes good reading here on the scorecard for Mpumalanga Rhinos, if you look at the personnel, look at overs left in Innings 2, Dukes 2, Rolfes 2, and Van der Walt tidy, and Swanepoel 1. I just feel there's too much power from a bowling department for this Eastern Cape Iinyathi side to get double figures for 6 consecutive overs.
Good first delivery by Van der Walt, exactly where you want to bowl. A bit of an added challenge for the bowlers now that there's a right hand left hand combination at the wicket. Means that there's always a short boundary to access for the Inyathi.
Yeah, Luca Van der Walt changing the angle around the wicket. I like that, closing the short boundary off. Unfortunately, 2 straight on this occasion, wide down the leg side. But this line of attack sort of eliminates the short boundary completely. We look at his free boundary field, there's deep square, deep and wicket, and the long on, the captain himself here, long on doing duty. So a very good field. It's just important to make sure that you nail that length now into middle and leg stump and not be too straight.
Yeah, tactically spot on, I agree with you. There we go. Just keep it there, Luco. And as long as the boundary fielders are in quickly off the fence like they were there, might just be run a ball.
Off the topic, Ken, Mapaka is a Kwena's older brother.
Yes.
A lot of similar characteristics. Did he also go to St. Stadions or not?
I believe he did, yeah. He's a little bit older. He's been in the Lions system for a while, but I'm pleased for him to set an edge. Again, good bowling by Van der Walt, though, full and wide. Using the protection of the long boundary. There's not much chance of Niemand getting this leg side. And it was a slower ball. So
yeah, it looks like an extra bounce there. The ball bounced in the foothills there where the bowlers land. And you could see there was a puff of dust and then the extra bounce through to the keeper. Good decision by the umpire.
Into position early. Oh, run out on. Oh, just missed. Bit of shouting and screaming now between the batsmen. Panic is not going to help the cause at all. But credit to Van der Walt that he's bowled so well this over that Jason Niemand has been forced to try something very different. And could well have held out that short third man just on the bounce to that fielder. And it could well have resulted in the run out of Malika. Bowled him. The pressure tells Malika down the pitch and swinging wildly. bowled for 1 off 7 deliveries as the Mpumalanga Rhinos take an even firmer grip on this contest.
Yeah, I must say, well deserved. Luca van der Walt, he's kept his cool. He came in as a late replacement here on the bowling lineup. We sort of questioned why if he was needed in today's contest, but he showed his worth. Phenomenal second over. He's only going for 14 runs this far, and he deserved this first wicket. You could see calm, collective, very accurate. Attack the stumps, and Malika, the end of him, he needs to go the long walk back up the stairs to the change room, and a well-deserved first wicket for Luca van der Walt.
Yeah, the 7th bowler used, Luco van der Walt. Not often a proper seam bowler comes on as your 7th bowler, but clearly this is his role here at the back end, and so far very impressive. He's got a clear plan, he seems to have good skills, and he's doing a great job.
Yeah, impressive. You can see he got clear plans, as you rightly mentioned, and a lot of change-ups, so he's not scared to roll his fingers over the ball. Good control, managed to keep it one side of the wicket, and it just shows with his returns. Last ball of the 15th over. Important delivery for Luca van der Walt.
Okay, nicely bowled, just a single.
A very good single there for Mpumalanga Rhinos. It keeps the dangerous Niemand off strike. If the Eastern Cape Iinyathi side has any chance of chasing this down, Niemand will have to face the bulk of the deliveries, which is not happening at the moment. So very good plans and very good execution by the Mpumalanga Rhinos this far.
Yeah, it certainly hasn't helped the Inyathi cause that Jason Niemand just doesn't seem to have faced a lot of the last few overs. He's on 30 not out, and it seems ages ago that he was 22 not out. Aubrey Swanepoel to bowl his final over.
Yeah, Niemand just turned it around for a single. Good bowling again by Aubrey Swanepoel. Don't allow any room to free his arms, and the length immaculate, so he can't get underneath the ball, and he got no room to work with. I must say this spell this far has been very impressive. 1 for 9 after 3.1. He came in and changed the whole complexion of this run chase.
Absolutely. The value of experience. Nicely struck. Lomoff's got a bit of work to do, but he'll get there. They'll come back for 2. Good throw from the boundary, but good running as well. 2 more for Niemand, takes him to 32. 115 for 5 now, so 56 needed of 28 balls. That's 12 and over for the Inyathi. While Niemand is there, it's still possible. Oh, I don't think he's got enough on that. Oh, put down my long on. It was straight to him. He had to run in a bit, but that could be a massive let-off in the context of this game. Jason Niemand dropped on 32. If he had gone, then I think that would probably have been it for the Inyathi.
Yeah, they didn't get hold of it. Easy chance, dropped in the deep, and the lifeline he needed to keep them in this run chase.
Too short from Swanepoel. But 6 runs for Niemand. Wasn't his best strike, but good enough.
Yeah, that drop catch just changed the momentum. And the first real bad ball from Swanepoel. He dragged it down short, and Niemand, short of stature, get into position quickly, and he helps it onto the long side of the field today. Over for a maximum.
And it just shows you the benefit of Niemand facing a few balls in succession, facing the majority of an over. He can do some damage. Oh, down the wicket, very nearly beaten.
If I'm not mistaken, there, it's far from us, but that long on fielder, I think it's Benjamin van Niekerk, he'll certainly count every single run that Niemand scores after that drop catch in the heat of the moment. Ball bowled again. Fabulous spell by Aubrey Swanepoel, 1 for 21. His returns of his 4 overs. Unfortunate not to get a second wicket and then going for a boundary. But remarkable amount of dot balls he bowled in his 24. I'd like to say it's far more than half. He had a maiden in there also. So a very good 24, set of 24 that he bowled for his new team, the Mpumalanga Rhinos.
Showing his value from the outset. Aubrey Swanepoel. So 46 runs needed off the last 4 overs. Jason Niemann's well set on 41, but it's Alandile Mhletiwe who has to strike on 3 not out, and Luco van der Walt to bowl his 3rd over. 1 for 15 so far. Swing and a miss, but they'll get the leg by. Niemand back on strike, that's the important thing.
Yeah, Luca van der Walt been very good so far. Always a danger for a bowler to bowl his 3rd consecutive over in the T20 game. But his plan's been good. The nice thing also about this is there's a new balance into the crease, so it helps a bit.
Slightly in the slot from Van der Walt, but there was pace off, which helps. So just a single. 11 dot balls bowled by Aubrey Swanepoel, which is very good.
Yeah, it's a very high number of dot balls in 24, especially for a spinner in the middle period of a spread field with only 4 guys in the circle. So a very good reason to see why his returns were 1 for 21 and 4.
Down the wicket, and Van der Walt dragged it back a bit again. Just a single. Oh, Luco van der Walt's doing a great job here at the back end.
Yeah, it's quite a substantial change in pace when he bowls that leg cutter. Difficult delivery to bowl, to roll the fingers outside of the ball over to the so-called offside. So challenging delivery to bowl, but he definitely gets it right with great effect.
Over towards the extra cover boundary. They'll get 2 runs on that occasion. 41 of 20 needed.
They'll need 1 big over soon here if they want to stay in this run chase. It's slowly but surely drifting away from the Eastern Cape Iinyathi. Very good bowling, very good fielding by the team from Mpumalanga Rhinos at this point in time.
And that's straight up in the air. Can Long On get there? He's there and he takes it. Super catch. No, dropped it. Oh my word. He had it. He got there. He was under it. He had it in both hands. But out it went. So 2 catches now dropped by the Rhinos. Niemand on both occasions. And that could prove very costly.
Yeah, done all the hard work. He ran in like a sprinter, get to the ball. Only error he made is he didn't set himself underneath the high ball. He was on the move. And the ball went right through him. Another lifeline for Niemand. How costly can this be? There it is.
Yeah, Niemand stepping across and walloped onto the banks at mid-wicket. And a very, very good 50. Back-to-back 50s in the Momentum Health Challenge for Jason Niemand. This one coming up off just 29 deliveries with 2 4s and 3 6s. It's 138 for 5 after 17 overs.
Yeah, impressive strike rate also by Jason Niemand. So the fact that they starved him for strike in that middle period where the rate was sort of getting away from them were very well done by Mpumalanga Rhinos. And as we said earlier, he's going to face the bulk of this 18 deliveries. He had 2 lifelines this far with drop catches. Anything is still possible.
So 33 needed off the last 3 overs. Definitely possible, depending on what Jason Niemand does. John Hendrickson is back. Wasn't at his best in his first couple of overs. We'll need to rediscover the right line mostly. He was a bit leg side-ish. He's opening 2 overs. He's bowling from the other end now to Slatiwa, who does the right thing and just gets a single to long off.
Yeah, it just looked like John Hendrickson's action, a bit of a slingy action. Mostly guys with these sort of actions who swings the ball away up front with a new ball got a knack to bowl that leg stump Yorkers naturally with the angle of the arm. So a good start there by him. And look at the field change here. Not 100% sure what the plan is. If you look at mid off and mid on in the circle, so he's definitely going to look to go shorter towards Niemand.
Hooked away powerfully, but Cow Corner gets across well. Does the fielding excellently. Back for 2.
Yeah, I don't know your thoughts, Ken. Very predictable field with both men in the circle next to the bowler, mid off and mid on. It's sort of only going to go one direction, unless he bowls a proper Yorker double bluff here. But a bit predictable for the informed Niemand.
The only thing I will say though is that if the line is right, if it's a straight line on the body, sort of leg side-ish, very difficult for him to access the short cover boundary. Swatting flies there. Niemand just gets a single.
I must say that's a very good bumper, sharp bumper, late in the afternoon. The right line, the right height, so well bowled. Change in plan here, change in the field setting again.
It's the one bouncer for the over as well. So Hendrickson, well, I don't think he's going to continue bowling short to Slatiwa, but if he does to Niemand, he's got to be careful not to bowl it above shoulder height. Slatiwa good enough to get off strike straight away with the single. 28 needed or 14 balls.
A very tidy first 4 deliveries here in the 18th over by John Hendrickson.
Yeah, I like it. He's bowling to, a set plan. He knows what he wants to do and is bowling to that. We might come up with different plans ourselves. But you can see the logic in it, and he's executed well.
Here's a slight change in field. The deep square coming to the circle, and the long on moving down to the boundary. So potentially the leg stump Yorker in his locker now.
Ooh, he's got away with a very full ball on off stump. Got it just full enough that it was hard to get away. So single.
Very good execution so far in this over by Hendrickson. It just shows again that Yorker never goes out of fashion at the back end of the innings. I think his initial plan was to be a bit straighter. Niemand gave himself some room there, but still hitting the stumps. And this is a big ball here from Mpumalanga Rhinos and John Hendrickson.
As the cover sweeper comes into the ring. And hit hard to long off. Can he get it? He does! Brilliant over by John Hendrickson. And it's the wicket of Slatiwa that has gone down. So not the absolutely vital wicket of Niemand, but still that'll help.
Very good catch by Musa Twala. We know him as a wicket keeper trade, but he reacted quickly. The long off boundary came in. At one stage I was worried he's going to overrun the ball, but nonetheless settled himself well. And a very good catch by the youngster to finish off a super over by John Hendrickson. And that required right now up to 13.5 per over. Only 4 wickets in hand. And experience of John Hendrickson paid off for the Mpumalanga Rhinos in that 18th over.
So Tlatiwe falls for 6 off 8 deliveries. I fancy it'll probably be Tando and Tini coming in now. He's got a bit of ability with the bat. Yeah, it is Tando and Tini. But what a great over from John Henriksen, swaying things slightly back in the favour of the Mpumalanga Rhinos.
Captain Rolf is taking charge of this ultimate over here, the 19th over here from the West Lane end. And for me, that's a good character trait, to take responsibility of your team and where you found yourself in. Would have been a bit unfair on Luca van der Walt to bowl 4 over straight the back end of the innings. He did a fantastic job, but I think there's a good decision to change it up.
Yeah, Rolfs has bowled really well too. So van der Walt, great job by the 22-year-old. He's a Piet Retief product, so Mpumalanga, born and bred. He can be very proud of his effort. 1 for 27 off 3. But that includes a 6 off the last ball he bowled, having had Jason Niemand dropped earlier in the over. So 27 needed off 12 balls. Rolfs to Niemand on 56. Niemand has manufactured a little whip shot away on the offside. They'll come back for 2, little fumble in the outfield.
Oh, very well bowled by Rolf. As you could see, Jason Niemand going right across the crease, trying to get the ball to the short boundary on the onside. But in this occasion, Rolf has just followed him and he kept going wider. That wide line moves with the batsman as he walks across. Same plan again, try and force the ball towards the short boundary. Very well bowled by Rolfus again. And just a single that brings Tandon and Tini back on strike.
Tini a left-hander, so that's a different challenge now for the Rhinos. I do like those 2 balls that Rolfs has bowled, but I will say that to avoid becoming too predictable, I think he has to bowl at least 1 to Niemand that's a bit back of a length, dug into the pitch, pace off, because at the moment you can see that Niemand knows exactly where it's coming.
Yeah, and he goes so far across, it can almost be the fact if he goes straight, he can need his leg stump, but he exposes all his stumps.
Yeah.
And that's a very difficult shot if you go so far across to actually control.
Tini shovels it away for a single. 23 needed now off 9 balls. So the field for Niemand, men back on the boundary at long on and cow corner at third man, deep extra cover and long off. He steps across again and again, trying to get it through that offside, but again it'll just be 2 runs. Excellent bowling by Herman Rolfs.
Yeah, some interesting news for you guys who haven't followed today. South Africa in the first one-day international against England at Leeds bowled England out for 131, and South Africa currently 12 of out loss in the second over. So that's quite a remarkable effort by our bowlers. The peak of the bowlers there, Keshav Maharaj again for 4 and 3 wickets for Vian Mulder. So a lovely effort by our South African bowlers.
That sounds good. Hopefully they can get the job done as another single for Tando and Tini. I beg your pardon, Jason Niemand. 20 needed or 7 balls. So ideally for the Inyathi here, they'd like a 4 or maybe a 2 from Tando and Tini. Bouncer, he ducks underneath it. Brilliant stuff from Herman Rolfs. Yeah, I think Tini had to have a flap at that, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's got to have a go.
No, fully agree, but very well bowled by Captain Herman Rolfes. Such important over, the 19th over, to make sure you give your partner as many runs possible to play with. And I think if before this over, Rolfes told Rhinos is going to leave him 20 at the back end, he would have taken it by both hands. So let's see how he can respond here. And the man in picture here needs to face the bulk of these balls to give them any chance whatsoever.
Yeah, and with it being the long boundary on the leg side to the right-hander, 20 to get. I think you back Henriksen, but he's still going to have to bowl well. He's still going to have to execute his plan, which looks like a very similar plan to what he had in his previous over. 3 men on the leg side boundary. Oh, and called wide, tight call by the umpire.
He was very 50-50 with that decision, the umpire. You could see his hands were up and down a couple of times. Niemand went so far across, so he had to make the call if that ball was going over leg stump or just outside. And in this occasion, the benefit went to the batter. Umpire called a wide. So another 6 balls to be bowled, 19 required.
This time he steps outside leg. He's trying to get it through that gap. At extra cover. Henriksen's following him. It's good bowling. $19 or 5 needed. Niemand's going to need a 6 somewhere along the line here.
I always think back of these run chases and you look at Nathan Roux. Very good 50, but just after 50, that lack of concentration and that played on didn't really deserve a wicket at delivery, and he puts him under a heap of pressure.
Key moments hooked away, but it's just going to be a couple of bounces to the fielder. They'll come back for 2. Again, bowling to his plan, John Henriksen. We identified that he was probably going to bowl short towards the body of Niemand, exactly what he did. And yeah, I'm not sure how you could get that sort of delivery over to the short side.
Yeah, you've been saying it throughout the day. If you really hit the deck hard and you bowl the ball into the wicket and you take pace off, it's difficult for the batters to really get that timing that's required to get a boundary.
That's well struck. Straight back over the bowler's head. There's the 6 that the Inyathi so desperately needed. They're back with a sniff now.
Yeah, they desperately needed that 6. A powerful strike by Niemand straight over the bowler's head. Made himself guilty in this occasion to miss the Yorker length. Just that nice length, that nice hit me half volley length. And Niemand too good a player to miss out. And they needed that boundary to keep them in this hunt. 11 required of 3 deliveries. If it wasn't for that boundary, they would have been out of this game. But look at that position. Clears that front foot. Great hand speed through the ball. Quality timing. And a maximum that's so needed at this time for the Eastern Cape Iinyathi and Jason Niemand.
Yeah, and the delivery was also just a little bit middle and off, and Niemand had given himself room. Henriksen just straying away from what had worked previously in the over. Don't mind the change of length so much. He obviously wanted it to be a little bit fuller, but just the line there was a bit problematic, allowing Niemand to free his arms. Discussion now between bowler and wicketkeeper. Sakya Katrada. There's the short ball at the body again. Well bowled, flapped away. They've got it. Oh. No, he couldn't risk it, Niemand.
Yeah, you could see the disappointment in his face there. Great fielding, quick to the ball. He couldn't risk it. Not the best throw. I think that's the reaction after the throw that he thought he should have taken a chance at it. Throw was way off, but he did all the hard work to get to the ball, to get the ball out of his hand, which put the pressure on Niemand to send Tanden and Tini back. 10 of 2. Tanden and Tini will have to have a go at this one. Anything less than the boundary, and slightly turning the way in favour of the Mpumalanga Rhinos. Phenomenal bowling effort here at the back end of the second day of the Momentum Health Challenge by the team from White River.
And good work by Temba Maupa down on the boundary there, stopping the second. Right, chances of an all-run 5, Quibus. Very slim. Oh, well bowled. It's going to be one. Oh no, the keeper's let it go through. Oh my word, it is going to be 5. And an extra ball.
Where did you get that out of the pocket there, Ken?
Well, I was just thinking what sort of scenario would be absolute best case would be a 5 to get Niemand back on strike.
He's been
but obviously you have to run 5.
Yeah.
Too.
He's been so good all day, but if you look where that ball pitched, it's almost impossible for Kafara to pick it up. Right through his legs. And such a pity. 5 of 2.
5 of 2. Very much came back on. Well, Intini can probably even just try and get a single here. And that's exactly what he's going to do. Hit hard to long on. All right, well, it has come down to a thrilling conclusion here at Supersport Park. 4 runs needed off the last ball. Jason Niemand on strike on 71 not out. John Hendrickson, who 95% of the time has bowled really well.
Yeah.
But he's got 1 for 40 off 3 overs and 5 balls. But none of that matters now. He's just got a ball, 1 ball that stops Jason Niemand from getting a boundary. And those same 3 men are on the leg side boundary at mid wicket, square leg and fine leg, and there's a long on, and there's a deep cover as well.
Okay,
So-
important also for the guys on the fence to make sure that they only succeed 2 runs, 3 for the tie.
Yeah. He's gone for the scoop, he's got it! Well done, Jason Niemand, brilliant batting! Oh, Jason Niemand, what a finish! What an effort by a man who has scored so many valuable runs for Border and the Eastern Cape Iinyathi, and now he's pulled off a brilliant win. He knew that Hendrickson will be trying to target his body, trying to get it that side. He waited, he didn't move too early, and when the ball was where he expected it to be, he put it away. Brilliant.
Yeah, exceptional finish here. He ordered it, and it's a proper finish here, right to the very last ball. Jason Niemand, what a class act, 75 of 41 balls, and he realised his first man was in the circle. He knew that was the only option to use Hendrickson's space, and he got inside of the ball. He picked that ball up, reverse scoop, a high risk shot, high reward, and a phenomenal run chase here. 75 not out of 41 balls. Exceptional win on the last ball by the Eastern Cape Iinyathis, and they'll be very pleased. Player of the match, Jason Niemand, and you can't think anywhere else in terms of the way he turned this thing and single-handedly won it. There it is, great position, head still, held it on its way, and a phenomenal way to finish the second day of this Momentum Health Challenge.
Yeah, it's a sort of scenario you probably practice in the nets where coach tells you 4 needed off the last ball, there's the field, and you've got to try and manufacture a boundary, and Jason Niemand has just done that with high skill and brilliant composure. 75 not out off 41 balls. Nathan Rue batted really well up top, 50 off 35. Together with Lisha Cezani, they gave Inyathi a fantastic start in the power play, 57 for 1. The Rhinos fought back really well with the ball, led by Herman Rolfs, 2 for 26 and 3 overs. Timma Maupa bowled really well. Aubrey Swanepoel, though, looked to have put the Rhinos on top with that spell of 1 for 21 in 4 overs until the drama here at the end. And so the Eastern Cape Iinyathi have played themselves into the final of the Momentum Health Challenge on Friday.
Yeah, and it just shows you again how costly those 2 drop chances was. One down at long on and the one running in. 2 drop chances that Niman had, and that's his luck, and he used his luck to great avail. And he showed the maturity he had to stay calm. Didn't have a lot of strike in the middle of periods, but very calm right through the innings, and a phenomenal finish here by him to get himself the man of the match accolades. Very well deserved.
And with 10 runs needed, also crucial with Tando and Tini on strike. The wide that went for 4 byes, which suddenly made it 5 off 2, which enabled Ntini to get off strike and leave Niman to hit the winning boundary. So it's been a tremendous end to the second day of the Momentum Health Challenge. Do join us again tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. when the Eastern Cape Iinyathi will be playing against the Eastern Storm, and the Mpumalanga Rhinos will be taking on apologies, I've got that the wrong way around. The Rhinos will, the Eastern Storm will play the Inyathi, that is correct. And in the Northern Cape Heat, will play against the Mpumalanga Rhinos. Any last thoughts, Kubus Pina?
Yeah, exceptional day. Thanks, Ken. Thanks for having us, and thanks for having us Supersport Park. Great initiative by the Titans. Some very good cricket. Incredible T20 match here in the afternoon, and definitely something to get excited about for the season ahead. A lot of young talent on display here, and please join us for tomorrow for day 3 of the Momentum Health Challenge.
It's good night from Supersport Park.